Greetings, and welcome to you, bravest citizens of our new world. I am Toronto's greatest supervillain and evil genius, Dr. Terrawat. This is our lair 4.0. Hello, greetings. Oh, I don't have my lights on. Turn these on here. For posterity, hi everybody. And today is episode 4 of our community D&D game. It's a good time. I hope we're all having fun. I'm going to close this, because the never-ending sirens, boy, they're getting old. So there we go. Hi everybody. So yeah, we're just getting into it. It's gonna be a good time. Yeah. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. We're gonna be having ourselves some fun. Hope you guys enjoy this episode, and that everybody has a good time. And we will see you as this game goes. But first, let's get into inviting in and getting all of our dudes on a call. Let's get everybody in on the phone.
Ahoy.
Hello.
New
Hola.
phone, who dis?
Hi, everybody.
Ahoy.
Hello.
I think we've got everybody in. Goodness. Who was that? Was that Esteban?
Yeah.
Yes, that was Esteban.
Okay, I can turn you down now. Oh my god. I can put you at normal human volume.
This is my new microphone.
Hell yeah, dude.
Nice.
It is very nice.
You
That
can
is
hear my
fantastic.
soft, dulcet tones without having
we
to.
no longer need to put you up to max volume and not only be able to half hear you.
Yeah, I can put you at regular volume now. That almost made my ears bleed for a second. We're good.
Now the question is, how well can you hear?
Ah!
Ah,
Yep, it's there.
still well.
Too well.
I love it. It's the best.
Are you beating a tire iron with a fish or what?
There we go.
That sounds like dental bill.
Oops. Okay, cool. Alright, so we're going to be trying something new. Anyways, thank you everybody for coming out today. We got ourselves an interesting game titled for you guys this evening. Hi. So before we get going, though, let's run around the table and reintroduce everybody. So to start off here, we've got, of course, with his dulcet tones and his brand new microphone, ladies and gentlemen, it's Esteban playing our skeleton hunter, Talrind.
Good evening, good people.
Yay. And we've got Rainer playing Drakiar, our dragonborn sorcerer.
Greetings.
And we've got Keldaka Gray playing Sneck, the kobold acolyte.
Snack King?
And we've got Quad playing our warforged warrior, Alloy.
It is I.
Hello. It is me. And we have Palanthir playing our Air Genasi rogue, Caleb.
Like,
And of course we've got Ambisaurus playing our goblin bard, Piffles.
Biffles! Hello!
Alright. So when last we left off, our adventurers had found their way through the challenges, and their team came out victorious to head to the surface and go about their business with the king's orders to contact a group of gray orcs that are still currently living in the monstrous wastes and gather what information they can about something called the Great Beast, apparently living nearby. So yes, as you are all in the throne room still, you have been gifted your chest of earnings from the completion of this job. A total amount of, I believe, what was it? 800? 800 gold pieces in a chest. So what are you guys getting up to?
Bagpipes.
Flaming bagpipes.
bagpipes, apparently.
Nice.
All right. So as you guys make your way out of the castle itself, sort of making your way down the halls, You grab your grappling hook?
He
Oh,
had
that's
his
right.
little
Yeah,
hook tied up.
you left your grappling hook in the arena. Oh
You
my
never
god,
said
I
we were
forgot.
leaving.
That's true.
We left off in the arena. I thought that was where we were starting today.
No, we left off in the
We ended in the throne room
king's throne
yesterday.
room. Yeah.
Ah,
We
crap,
left the
yeah,
arena.
yeah.
I went to the.
Just as we're
Palace.
leaving the
I
castle.
collected my
grappling
daggers
hook.
and everything.
Oh my grapple! Fuck!
Damn it.
Get the grappling hook.
But yeah, so you guys make your way out of the long obsidian halls of the Palace of the Fallen Leaves and make your way out into the market area. So do you head straight for Par's Parts, or do you guys go to other places first?
If nobody minds, I'd like to stop by the magic shop.
We can stop
The
by
magic
there.
shop.
I want to
Alright.
look
I would
around there
too.
myself.
Wait. The magic shop guy said I should talk to Benjamin, didn't he?
Benjamin Hyde, yes, but what did he ask you to talk to Benjamin about?
Such things that could heal individuals such as myself.
That is correct.
Right. We only had
Benjamin would know
snacks
more
today.
about that.
Yeah.
As you guys are making your way just out the front, you see Benjamin standing off to one side on the steps, and he gives you guys a little nod goodbye as you head out. Do you walk over to talk to him?
I do.
As you approach, he smiles and nods to you again. He goes, "Yes, yes. How can I help you today?"
With a respectful, bob of my head, I said, "Good Sir Benjamin, if I was to look for something that could heal individuals such as yourself, what would I be looking for?"
You would need to find some sort of enchanted item that is filled with the king's sort of magic, necromancy, dark magic, or infliction power to some. Those sorts of things could be cast into an amulet, rings, things of that sort. I don't have any on me right now, he says, gesturing to his very well-tailored suit. But he doesn't have... Yeah, he doesn't seem to have any on him. Because, however, if you are looking for those sorts of things, there is perhaps some of the folks who work in the palace. I may be able to get in touch with one of the king's enchanters and see if we can't put something together like that. How would that suit you?
I would very much appreciate that.
All right. I'll get back to you soon. I'm not sure how long this will take, but it shouldn't take very long. Not more than maybe an hour or two. And I'll meet you at Gray's Tavern. How does that sound?
Absolutely.
Excellent. He, with a little bob of his top hat, he strides off back into the palace itself.
Mm.
All right. Do you
Flaming
guys...
bagpipes, anyone?
Flaming... Anybody?
Yes.
Anybody? Bagpipes?
Yes.
I'm gonna go to the magic shop at some point during.
All right. So, first and foremost, though, you guys head on to the market area, but almost make your way immediately to the inside of a shop. And of course, you find yourselves a familiar face. Hold on, I gotta get him. There we go. Where is he?
Have him, hold him down.
Where is he, guy? So yeah, next to the stonemasons, as before, you come along and you find yourself face to face with Par's Parts, a small basement shop underneath the stonemasons. And as you make your way in, you find, of course, the massive stone troll that is sitting in there working away at tiny objects with his hands. Ah, good. You've come back.
Hello.
Ah, little piffles. I fixed your bagpipes as much as I could, mind you. Let's see. I believe you were... And he, scratches the side of his chin. I believe 100 gold short still?
Wait, what? I thought it was more than that.
Some of it had been paid up by your friend here, and he gestures to the air genasi, Caleb, with you guys. He says, in trade for a lovely statue that I've now got on display. And he gestures over to a large red dragon statue that is on his shelf. Now, I'm
That
going to
looks
say...
like Drake here.
Yeah, Drake here. Give me
Drake here is
a perception check.
Still, dragons are dragons. It's dragons.
Yeah, give me a perception. Drake here.
Oh, I thought you were saying that to MB.
No.
If.
Mm.
No.
Where is? There we go.
There you go. What do we got? An 8. Okay. Well,
Shade.
there is something strikingly familiar about that statue. You're not sure what, but it does look familiar.
I'm going to take advantage of my background ability.
Mm-hmm.
Where?
Researcher. When you attempt to learn or recall a piece of lore, if you do not know the information, you have to know where it is or where it's from, whom you can obtain it. Yeah. So as you sort of examine it and you look closely, you think there might be something on the bottom of it. Do you take a look?
I first, of course, ask if you would mind if I took just a quick look.
There's a good lad. All right, sweet. I was like, I don't know if he's gonna, you're gonna pick it up and look at it. If he's gonna ask first. Yeah, you ask Parr if you can have a look at some of the stuff that he has here, and he goes, yes, of course. I thought that it might interest you, perhaps. And as you're examining it, across the bottom of the statue itself is inscribed a single word: Oron. There are other inscriptions that cross the bottom of the statue, but they seem to be damaged or scratched out or worn over time, but you do recognize the symbol and seal of the Kingdom of Oron. This is a place where your mother said she was from.
All right.
She doesn't speak of it, though.
Okay. I turn to Caleby. He said you were the one who found this, right?
Yeah.
I would like to.
Continuing.
I'd like to speak to you later about where you found this.
Fair enough.
I put from there. I put the statue back and
Awesome.
just get back the rest of the party.
Yeah, as you put the statue back, Parr, this massive troll, takes a large pair of bagpipes that, well, not a large pair, an ornate pair of bagpipes that look like they're being fitted for a goblin or a halfling, and places them on the table, and they let out like a sad as they go down.
Yes.
All right. And he goes like, okay, so I've managed to get it working. You can use it to play music. And he sort of makes a quotation marks with his fingers. Though I don't know who would call strangling a dead creature like this music, but that's their own thing. And it also, if you put fuel in here, and he gestures to a small capped nozzle that's over onto one side, fill that up with kerosene, gasoline, lantern oil. It works with a number of things. That will twice, actually, no, sorry. I can only get it to shoot once per day right now. It's gonna need some adjustments before it can do more. But if you fill this thing full of some lantern fuel, then push down on these and these notes and give her a good blow, and it'll go off. So add that to your inventory. Bad pipes. And they once a day, if you put in an entire unit of lantern fuel, will give you once a day non-magic fireball.
Sweet. Okay. All right. So where do I buy fuel for them? Can I buy it from you? or
As you're asking, he slowly takes a jar and puts it on the table and pushes it towards you. That'll be a gold.
Yes. Sweet. And I give him the money and I'm like, smells
Now,
good.
that's
Smells
enough
like
for one.
spinach.
Now look at me. That's
Yes.
enough for one. Okay.
Okay.
You're going to need more, and you're going to need to keep it sealed in jars like this. Safety first. Look at me. Safety first. And he's he's leaning over the table at you, his huge eyes beating down, trying very much to impress the seriousness of safety with flammable materials. I don't want to have
giving a kid a cap gun.
Yeah, I don't want to have half your party coming back to me saying that you blew yourself to smithereens, okay?
Or the rest of the party. to see.
Or the other half the
I
party.
think I'm pretty good with this stuff for the most part. Only half my hair got burnt off last time. I'm okay.
Yeah, see, that's what worries me. No.
I'll keep them sealed.
All right, good. Make sure to be careful as you're transporting them as well. If it breaks open, it could seep into things and
Would
then
it be safer to put it in a water skin then, so it can't get smushed?
some of it will leak out of a water skin. It's got to be in a jar.
Okay.
Now, thankfully, you can get nice jars like these, and he points at it, that are made from extra thick glass. These will be good for transporting the oil. They don't break as easy.
Okay.
You just gotta be careful. All right.
Okay. Should I buy more than one of them then? Because we're going on an adventure, and I don't know how many days it's gonna be.
His eyebrows go way fucking up. He's like, you need more than one. Okay.
Well, I don't know what we're gonna run into. We're going into the monstrous waste.
Right. Oh, that's right. Yes. Yes, you did manage that.
If anyone pays attention, Drakyar is kind of just nudging himself away from Biff.
It's like fucking Egon in the elevator, just slowly mushing away from it. So yeah, he pulls out 2 more jars, and puts them on the table, and he goes, "That'll be another 5 gold."
It was only 1 gold for the first jar, though.
Yeah, the first one was cheap. This stuff's hard to come by, and these
Okay,
jars are
fine.
expensive.
Okay, so I'll give him the additional gold.
He counts them in his ginormous hands, very gingerly taking each piece of gold and counting it into a small sack that he has next to himself. Very good. Now, and he rubs his huge stone hands together. Can I interest any of you, perhaps, in something intricate?
What sort of things do you have that are intricate?
Bits and bobs, trap pieces. We've got gears, springs, all manner of things. You know, this guy knows, and he gestures to Alloy.
Ella just looks, kind of looks around. I mostly deal with weaponry.
Right. Well,
I recently used my hunting trap and didn't get it back.
oh, you're in the market for another trap, are you? What kind of traps do you need?
Oh, a variety wouldn't be bad, since I seem to be moving away from traditional hunting traps.
Let's see. And he sort of rubs his chin and starts kind of perusing over one of his shelves. Let's see. You a simple traps kind of guy? Like bear traps?
I have used bear traps before.
Let's see. I think I've got. Here we go. And he pulls a bear trap. It is of very nice quality. When he pulls it off of the shelf, and he hands it. He puts it down on the table with a large clunk. And these things normally require like a DC 15 dexterity to escape. This one particularly takes an 18 dexterity to avoid.
Ooh.
So yes, Let's see here. And whereas normally it would do a d10, so average 5 damage, this one would do 2d10. Now this,
Has it.
I give this to you for about 10 gold.
So, I would quite happily get that from you, sir. Thank you.
Good, yes. And he scooches it over to you and counts the tiny coins one at a time into his, sack that he's got with him behind his desk.
Is one of us keeping track of the 800 gold that we got?
I just spent that out of my personal gold.
Okay.
I thought we each took 100 out of the 800, and then there should be
We
200
have a
left
little
over
bit.
after that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's do that.
All right, yeah. So each of you add 100 gold to your inventories, and then whoever has the chest left over from that, that is a chest with 200 gold pieces in it. Now, NB, you did.
I spent 100 gold on the bagpipes. 'Cause it
Piffle
was
spent 100
left
on the
over.
bagpipes.
Yeah.
So if that was the 100 that
And
you
5.
got, or 100 from the sack, that's up to you. And then 6 for the 3 jars.
Because I still had 100 personal gold left as well, so I still have 100 gold left.
Oh, there you go. And then so then it was 6 gold for the three jars of oil, and
Yep.
there you are.
It's all good.
All right.
I'm gonna swing the bagpipes over my shoulder, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh, good, they don't burp fire anymore."
They still, as you can literally go, oh, noise. But yeah, no, they're not shooting fire at anybody.
And they're not leaking.
I'm sorry, can I just double check the stats on that hunting trap I got?
Yes. The hunting trap, when it goes off, is a DC 18 to avoid dexterity check, and does 2d10 worth of damage.
What's
like
the
a bear
strength
trap
check
plus.
to break out of it?
Strength checks are normally 10. I would say it's a DC. I'm gonna say 15 for this one.
It's
'Cause
a
it-
DC 13 to...
Oh, normally? Then yeah. So DC 15 to get out of this one, because it is of higher quality.
Mr. Stone Troll?
And he leans over. How can I help you, littlest one?
Two things. One, do you have a grappling hook?
No. That would typically be under general adventuring gear. There is a goblin who runs a shop down the street called Goober and Gobbles.
Oh, I know, Goober. I have to get Corolla anyway. We should go there.
Okay. Two,
And Snack kind of just like taps on the chain shirt that he's wearing because he never really took it off.
He goes, do you have anything better than this that someone who's not very strong might actually be able to use?
Armor's not my specialty, little one. I'm sorry.
We might have to check with Tooth and... Is it Tooth and Claw?
It would be Tooth and Claw, that's right.
Yeah, we should go over there if you need armor. They can probably make some custom for you with their forge.
Well, we'll have to ask. It depends on how much it is.
We'll have to ask them then.
All right. So where do you guys head next?
Has it been an hour yet?
Not quite yet, no.
Like 5 minutes walk to the bar, kind of not quite yet, or
Not quite yet. It's been like maybe 30 minutes.
don't
What-
want to
what-
keep him. I don't want to keep Benjamin waiting, but we probably have one more stop we can do before I need to go see.
I mean, we're in town. We can split up.
True.
Yeah, if you guys want. Talrand, are you going to be heading to the tavern ahead of everybody else?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll head
cool.
to the tavern.
I'm gonna take care of you then, after I handle some of the other people. Now, who was heading over to Goober's place?
I'll go to Goobers.
You gonna head to Goober's?
Yeah.
All right,
I need to
anybody
get
else?
some granola. And Snick. Who wanted the grappling hook?
Snack.
Snack?
Did Snick want to come find a grappling hook?
Yeah, Snack will go with you then, because Snack needs grappling hook and hopefully finding better armor.
Okay,
Good
cool.
shit.
My place is on the way, and I should probably grab that bucket.
Friend Snack,
If
if
we're
you, if you
going
could be willing to grab a
yeah.
grappling hook for me as well while you're there.
I can do that.
Thank
I
you.
didn't need all the spoons that I got from Goober last time. I'm debating if I should bring them to the tavern.
Just give all the spoons to the tavern.
Yeah, I don't need that many spoons.
All right.
I don't know that they have more than one spoon.
This is true. They might need a bucket of spoons.
Snick thinks they might like that.
Okay, let's do that. We'll get the spoons and we'll go to Goober's and get granola and then to the bar.
All right.
Get squishy bug granola.
Yes!
There we go.
I think we're pretty much all going to the other than.
To Goober's.
As
All right.
in,
Well, yeah.
Well,
I
who
need
would
a-
need to go to the magic shop?
I would like to go to the weapon shop at some point.
All right. Well, let's do Goober's next.
Yeah.
So you guys head on over to Goober and Gobble's Adventuring Emporium. And this is just a sort of sloppy junk shop that's got goblins kicking around more or less outside. And yeah, as you guys get in and walk around, you spot a familiar face. It's Goober. He's just sitting over
Hi,
on his table.
Goober!
Oh, hello, Piffles. What do you guys need?
I need to get some granola with squishy bugs.
More? Really? What? You guys are going through that stuff fast. Okay. He pulls out another block that has slugs and big grubs and stuff sort of mixed in with the nuts and berries and granola stuff all held together with honey. It, not to goblins, but to other folks, smells profoundly bad.
Joke's on you, I can't smell.
It's the smell, if there was such a thing. So yeah, he sort of puts that on the table, wraps it up in a bit of paper, and pushes it over to you. That'll be a few gold, please.
How many?
This many. Holds up 3 fingers.
Alright, I give him 3 gold for the granola.
Thank you. How the spoons do?
I didn't end up needing them, actually. I got my bagpipes. See, and I show him the bagpipes, and now they're not leaking or burping fire.
What do you mean you didn't need them? There's a whole
I didn't
bucket of
end up-
spoons. There's like a million uses.
I
for
know, but I didn't need them to buy the bagpipes, so I'm actually gonna take them to the tavern, because last time they only had a spoon that was orc size, and it wasn't really good for eating potatoes.
That's true. They usually don't have stuff for us. But yeah, if you want
So
to
I'm gonna
donate them,
bring
you
him
can
a
do
bunch
that.
of spoons. Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe
Anybody
they'll
else
give me
need anything?
potatoes.
How easy is it for my character to move around in this shop?
Not terribly. You can move around. There are little paths and stuff like that that are made for medium-sized creatures like yourself. Because he gets clientele that are usually of medium size, like orcs and whatnot. But yeah, it's tight. The roof is maybe a few inches higher than your head. If that, you kind of have to crouch a little bit to fit through certain areas. But it's pretty full in here.
Snack would like to buy 2 grappling hooks with rope if you have them.
Oh yeah, sure. Like the ropey claws. I like those. And he pulls 2 out from behind his desk and he puts them down on the table. 2 grapple hooks.
How much are those?
I don't know. Give me half a gold. A gold. We'll say that. Half for each.
Okay.
Oh, I should get some more daggers. Because I didn't know that people use them for throwing. I was just using them for stabbing stuff.
Oh yeah, throwy sharps. I got some of those.
Throwing sharps! Okay, cool.
And he's got like a box of rusty daggers, and some of them are just like shards of rusty metal that have been sharpened and wrapped on one side, and it's again for non-goblin folk, it's very concerning. He puts that on the table and he goes,
I'm gonna
"I'd
pull
say
out
it's
one.
about a silver each."
Giving Piffles a bucket full
I'm
of
gonna look
shanks.
at the one. I'm gonna look at the one from my pocket and go, do you have any of those that look like this?
Well, yeah.
Like a
And
regular.
and he shakes the bucket of like rusty garbage knives. They look just like these. They don't look like that, but like.
I don't know, cause these ones feel good and they throw real good, and those ones look a little not what I'm looking for right now. But that's okay. Thank you.
Well, you could throw these pretty hard. You could also throw those spoons.
I could throw the spoons.
Like if you rub them against a rock until they're really sharp, like people do in prison, and then you could whip them really hard.
Well, I've never been to prison, but I might try that.
Neither have I, but you know, Fibs tells me some stories.
Ah, fib.
What?
Okay.
I had to stab a guy with a toothbrush once. Anyway,
Oh.
see, you guys need anything else?
I think
What?
I think I'm good.
Alright, awesome. So yeah, you guys make your way on out of Goober's place, and you head to the shaman's next, yes?
The magic
Either
shop.
the shop- oh, yeah.
To the
I'm up
magic shop. Alright, so you guys make your way into the usual magic shop. And you remember it is full of those heavy incense smells and the deep sort of thick air as you enter. There's a large cauldron boiling in the back there, and he's standing there stoking the fire underneath it. Ah, yes, come in. How can I help you?
Why, yes. I would like to see what spell scrolls and wands you currently carry.
Wands. Ooh. He strokes one of his long dread beards. I would say most of the things I have here are made to order, so I could make you a wand with specific magics put into it if you'd like. I don't keep a lot of things in this shop, though. Don't gotta waste my few supplies on things that I end up not being able to use. Or no one buys, and then I've wasted those materials, you know?
Very well. Dang, this kind of actually throws me a bit, because I was expecting just to see what he had.
Yeah, he does do things to order, mostly. He does have, like, some stuff that's on hand. Like, there are some objects that are on the shelves, but they're mostly, like, curos or materials or reagents. A lot of the magic things that he does make are, as he said, made to order.
1 second, then. Like, because I gotta look at what spells would probably be a good idea. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm just imagining Aloy's just kind of looking around the shop. He has no idea what any of this stuff does. He just looks at a jar with an eyeball in it.
The eyeball kind of turns and twists, and the fluid that it's floating in looks over at you. Huh.
Slowly blinks.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say that Drakiar is deep in thought about what he wants. Just I'll turn to him as just, well, my associate seems to be busy right now. Do you happen to have anything that might cause something akin to a distraction, like blinding powder, or maybe something that'll create a great big bang?
And create a big bang, eh? Let's see. Sort of going over his thing here. You might be looking for something like a thunderstone. Let's see.
Okay.
I do have a small bag of 3.
How much, out of curiosity?
That'll be 10 gold.
Really? Okay, I'll fork over 10 gold.
I am. Put 3 thunderstones in your inventory.
Okay.
All right, I think I got some spells I want to ask him about.
Yes, of course.
What can I expect when it comes to spells such as Dragon's Breath, Fog Cloud, Feather Fall, or Invisibility?
Well, I've got a potion of fire breathing. Lets you do a flame breath.
All right. And what would that cost?
That is hard to make. That's 150 gold pieces.
It's more than I'm willing to pay for right now.
That's quite all right.
And what would it be looking into cost for having a wand of invisibility?
A wand of invisibility. I mean, I can do you a potion of invisibility. That's another 180 gold. It'd take me an afternoon to put something like that together for you, if you'd like. That'll give you invisibility for a little while. About an hour.
Most wands.
What about healing potions then?
Yeah, most wands normally start getting a little over 1,000 gold. And if you don't have that kind of money, that's alright. They're hard to make. But healing potions, those would be 50 gold pieces each. For a potion of healing.
Alright, I think I'd be willing to pay for a pair of those.
Now, a potion of greater healing is 150 gold pieces, and it's worth several in one go. If you're that kind of robust sort of person. If not, though, I can do you 2 potions of healing. That sound good?
That sounds good.
All right. He sort of claps his hands together, and he rummages through some of the bottles and clinks about a little bit on one of his shelves, and he pulls 2 vials of swirling red liquid and places them on the table.
I, of course, pull out the gold, and give the money to the man.
Of course. Yeah, and he counts it out as it goes towards, and you now can add 2 potions of healing to your inventory.
I go ahead and take those, and then just put those at on my belt at my waist.
Mm-hmm. And each one of those does 2d4 plus 2 HP recovered when you drink them.
All right. And I do believe that would be all for me today, as it seems.
All right. Can I help anyone else who's here?
I am quite all right.
All right. Well, then I bid you a good day. And he gets back to rummaging through some of his things. Were you guys going to head to the tavern at this time?
I think some of them wanted to still go to the
weapon shop.
Oh yeah, to Tooth and Claw. We need to get Snick some more armor.
All right, so you guys head on over to Tooth and Claws. As you make your way into the large blacksmith's building, there, the walls adorned with different weapons and arrows, staves, axes, swords, and a few bits of armor here and there. You see Tooth The orcish brother standing over by the forge, clinking away on something. It seems to be some sort of dagger or a piece of armor. And Claw, his sister, is manning the front counter. Ah, it's our champions. Welcome back.
Good day, Claw.
Hello.
So, what can I do for you guys today?
Snack was wondering if, and he kind of just taps his armor as he's talking. If you could make something better than this or lighter than this.
She kind of like raises her eyebrows and looks down at it. Well, armor is my idiot brother's area of expertise. And you shut up from the back as he quenches something in the water. He'd really be the guy to talk to. But what do you mean lighter? Like, I mean that's good chain you're wearing.
Snack would kind of just like look down at the fact that he's wearing a regular chain shirt. He's a kobold. It's like
it's a little
dress. Like
it's a little loose on you, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
it's
could,
not
you know,
really
he
fit right.
She kind of like nods a little bit. Tooth, and he kind of like, and he trudges over to where you guys are standing with his big apron on, and he like looks down at you. I mean, I could take it in a bit. Is that what you need?
Well, either that or if I could maybe get a scale mail made to my size, would that be lighter? I
Scale.
don't know how much that would weigh though.
Yeah, let me think. And he looks around on the shelves a little bit. He's like, I got a chain shirt over here, scale mail. It has, I mean, it's not quite your size, but I could fit it to you. Would you like that?
How much would that weigh? I'm
Too
not very
little.
strong.
Well,
The base weight's 45 pounds, Doc. So
Yup.
it's the chain shirt's 20.
Yeah, I would say the
More than
base
double.
weight of scale mail, being 45, I would say 25. It would be scaled down to your size, would be how much it would weigh. It was a
Okay,
kobold-sized scale mail.
Also, keep in mind you'll have a disadvantage to things like stealth if you use scale mail.
It's okay. I want to be less pokeable.
Now, you do
still
get
better than the-
disadvantage on stealth, though, if you are wearing this.
That's
be fair,
okay.
It's kind of hard to have good stealth when we got the frickin' Warforged.
Wow.
I came up with the solution of just being invisible in the dark.
I just go invisible and it works for me.
How much would that cost if I gave you the chain shirt I'm currently wearing as partial trade?
Well, seeing as how it's a small and relatively regular-sized chain shirt, and I could really just refit this for you, I could do you like... take me a few hours, maybe 2. I could have this done for you... 20 gold?
That's more than reasonable. Could I also buy a shield?
Yeah, how big you looking for there, guy? He kind of chuckles as he's looking at you.
Well, actually a regular size shield, because I can hide almost entirely behind a regular size shield.
Well, I know you can, but can you carry it?
So heavy.
I mean, it's a shield. It would be like carrying a small wall for him, almost, but,
Well, if it was like a buckler I could probably mostly hide behind.
yeah.
A
I could
normal
sell you a
size
buckler.
buckler would be a pretty decent sized shield for me.
I would like to point out, unlike previous editions in 5th Ed, there is just one
It's a
item.
shield, yeah.
Yeah, so he, like, rummages around a little bit. You hear, like, clanking and clanging and whatnot as he sort of trudges through a pile of some of the stuff he has behind one of the counters. Pulls out a shield about your size. he goes, I could do you 5 gold.
That works.
All right. So come back with that chain shirt and 25 gold in a couple hours, and I'll have this scale mail fit down for you, okay?
Okay.
I gave you priority. What, for the champions and all.
Oh.
Especially since you kicked the shit out of my cousin. He chuckles to himself and goes back to hammering away on one of the anvils. I gotta tell you, I gotta live my whole life waiting for that. All right.
Oh, wait, I need to get some throwy sharps.
Pip, I have more than I can carry. I need to kind of actually give you some of mine.
Okay, I could totally take some of your throwy sharps. How many do you got?
How many would you like?
Oh, well, I have the
All of them.
do I have 3 or 4 now? Cause I got 4 now.
Hold on.
Yes.
Okay, while they're doing that, Caleb just approaches to the counter, just takes and just places 2 bags of caltrops. Just that, please.
Sorry about that. Had a little mishap here on my thing. You're looking for caltrops?
Yeah, 2 bags worth.
2 bags worth. How much are those in the PHB?
Got it right here in front of me. Bags of caltrops. The heck did it go? Ah, here it is. 1 GP each.
Yeah. So Claw puts them up on the table, and asks you a gold a bag.
Done.
Yeah.
And I'll hand over 2 gold.
Yeah, the caltrops are mostly like very jagged, sharpened pieces of slag, from what you can tell. Just like bits and pieces of cast off from things that they've been making, and they just put them in a bag and sell them. Cause fuck, if you throw those things on the ground, they are going to hurt you if you step on them.
Yeah, if they do what they say on the tin, I'm good.
Oh yeah. All right,
They're
so
gonna take your day and make it suck.
just ruin that day. So yeah, you guys do that. And anything else before you head to the tavern?
Just gonna point to the action Snack created in the chat there.
Oh yes, yeah, Snack hands Piff 12 daggers.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna put those in my pocket.
Why were you carrying so many daggers again?
I
had 20 on me in various holsters.
So he's just like,
don't worry about
you
it.
just see him start taking daggers out of his boots and his coat and his belt and just everywhere, just putting them in a pile on the ground in front of him. And he's just, there you go. There's your 12 ass daggers.
Yeah, Caleb just looks at this and just, whoa.
Kobold has claws.
I'm gonna have to put some more little hangy thingies on my belt.
Yeah,
There you go. Just kind of like hands her one of the holsters that he was using that's now empty.
you can,
I'm gonna just put it on one of my legs.
so yeah, you can find different areas to stash those. I'm not gonna like make you figure that out, but mostly you can put them in your bag and just find like places in your boots and in your belts and in your like chest armor and up on your sleeves and stuff. You could stick them and whatnot. 12's a high number, but it's not ridiculous.
If you weren't careful beforehand with the flamethrower bagpipes,
you should
be extra careful now.
It's
Especially
okay.
for
I'm
trying to
good with
give Piff
stabby
a hug.
things. I'm good with stabby things.
And Drakiar makes another step away from Biff.
All right. So then, yeah, you guys head on out of the blacksmiths and head over to Gray's Tavern, the local tavern in the massive Undercity that is run by a family of mountain trolls.
Do I have time to run and grab my bucket of spoons?
Yeah, if you want to go get your bucket of spoons, you can absolutely
I'm
do
gonna
that.
grab the bucket of spoons and I'll meet them at the tavern.
Yeah. As you make your way in, it's got its usual, like, hustle and bustle, of people. There's some music being played in the corner, and you find everybody who's there. And whoops, sorry, that's me. Zip, zip, zip. There we go. So yeah. Shortly after you guys arrive and sort of seat yourself at one of the tables, Benjamin comes in and pulls up a stool, sits down next to Talrand. Yeah, you gotta move one of those logs over to sit on because, Lord above, you could not sit on a stool. It would not hold your tremendous mechanical weight. But yeah, you sit down with a thud, and Benjamin pulls over one of the small stools and politely sits next to Talrand, and he goes, "So, good news. I was speaking with some of the king's enchanters, and we were able to acquire you something special."
An egg.
I will give you an egg. You'll require an egg. My God.
Okay then.
As you were saying that, you were slowly going into that voice, so I couldn't help myself.
That's quite alright.
Glad you had to go for it.
So yeah, you got.
I appreciate it.
Yes, of course. And he sort of. I apologize. Some of my voices aren't as varied as they could be. I'm starting to get a bit of a sore throat. I don't want to push myself too much.
It's all good. It's all good.
Taking a lot of water. So yeah, he pulls out from his pocket a little amulet that has a large sort of black tear-shaped gem on it. And he places it on the table and sort of slides it over to you and takes his hand away. And he goes, "So, twice a day, you should be able to use this, and it should give you the same kind of restoration that a living person would get from a potion."
I pick it up and examine it.
Yeah.
That sounds exactly what I was hoping for.
Indeed. Now, this one is going to be on the house from the king, because they want to make sure that you succeed in your endeavors. However, the additional sources that you would require, you can either come talk to myself, or some of my materials have been forwarded to Shaman on this regard, and he may be able to assist you with this going forward.
So if I'd like to acquire more of these, I should talk to Shaman.
That is correct. But this should hold you over for now, at the very least, I should hope.
Oh,
yes. Yes, Camry. One could say that the gem on this amulet looks like an egg.
Egg.
Acquire an egg.
I require an egg.
Okay.
Well, yeah. So you can put that in your inventory, and that is the Black Tear Amulet, and that will give you twice a day if you grip it, and he tells you the command word for it, which is just like some gibberish command word in Magic. But if you grip it and speak the command word, twice a day it'll give you 1d4 plus 2 HP. That's it.
Sorry, 1d4.
HP
plus...
to undead. 2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2? Okay.
Yeah, twice a day. Now, this does infliction damage, so if you use this upon a living person, it will harm them.
I will keep that in mind.
So you can only heal yourself, not friends.
Yes,
That's
as you are the only amongst your group that has been touched in such a way by the king, it will be just about for yourself. Though I do hope it comes in handy, though not too handy, mind you, in your adventures. I hope you don't need it too much.
Above all, it will be able to heal what I care about most.
He sort of gives you a nod. Very good point. As long as it does not interfere with your mission, you are free to look as you like. Right. Now, I must be off. I wish you a good afternoon. He gets up, he tips his top hat to you, and his curly mustache that curiously remains adhered to his face does a little sproing, and off he goes out the door.
Super glue is a thing.
I'm gonna drag my
Respect.
bucket of spoons over to the table.
Especially if you're, dried, magically reanimated bones. That shit's not coming off because the skin, the skin flakes underneath die.
True.
Oh yeah, you can tell. Like, I mean, if you give it, give me if you want, you can do a perception. Because you were right next to him. It's not glue. That mustache is just on there somehow. I mean, you think it might be magic, considering it's just a perfectly curly mustache that is just on where his upper lip would have been adhered to his skull. So it could be just about anything, but it's certainly not glue. Definitely likely magic.
Can I try an Arcana check?
Yeah.
The undead is magic?
Yeah.
No.
Jack, you think that the magic that holds his mustache on might be the same magic that animates the rest of him? I mean, it would be strange if it wasn't. I mean, why not just animate the whole thing, right? Like skeleton and mustache all together.
It's just very pretty job.
Like, you don't know the exact intricacies, but you're like, maybe it's just the same. I mean, it's magic that gets him up and about and moving around and talking, right? Because he doesn't have all those body parts. But maybe it's the same magic that, keeps that fantastic mustache on there.
Necromancy is not my field of expertise.
So yeah, as he departs from the place, Willow, the barmaiden troll, trudges over to the table and goes, "Oh, if it isn't our winners!
Hello.
I had a good feeling about you guys. So what can I get you?"
I'm gonna drag the bucket of spoons over the table, and I'm gonna heave it over my head and put it precariously on the table. Like, I brought you some more spoons.
I'm not gonna make you roll for that. You managed to get it on the table without spilling spoons literally all over the fucking place.
I was kind of hoping I would spill spoons everywhere because it's me.
Or just adds about to tip over, Alloy just quickly grabs it and puts it on the table.
Just takes the bucket, puts it down. Yeah, so you put a big bucket of spoons on the table. She kind of looks down at it and goes, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
got a lot of spoons there, buddy."
Yeah, I brought that for you guys, because last time all I could find was an orc-sized spoon, and it wasn't very helpful with potatoes.
Oh! She kind of leans down and looks at him, thumbs through the spoons a little bit in the bucket. "Yeah, we could use these. Alright. So you know what? Lunch is on me!" She picks up the bucket of spoons, walks into the kitchen, and you see Keldaka sitting over next to a huge just tub of soapy water, and he's scrubbing a pot, and she walks over and just floof dumps all the spoons in, and he goes, "Ah!" Throws his hands in the air. Damn it!
I was almost done.
Oh, it's gonna take forever. He's just grumpily picks up a fistful of spoons and a huge fucking brush and just whoosh, 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 starts trying to get through them, grumbling to himself as he goes along.
We already had a spoon. Why do we need more spoons?
So yeah, you guys grab yourself a usual lunch. I mean, they've got stews and soups mostly, because they're easy to make and easy to eat, especially by the varying folks that live around these parts. But today there was a special on just a whole bunch of eggs. If you order it, you just get 12 eggs, and they're done up pretty much one way, which is just it's like scrambled eggs. There's just a whole lot of eggs, and that's what it's called. Just a lot of eggs. that's today's special.
Egg.
When she comes back to the table to deliver food or anything, I'll just say, and as per custom after every great event, a round for the entire inn bar.
Ooh.
Oh, how much coin do you put on the table for that?
20 gold.
Nice. Okay. So you slap those coins on the table, around for everyone in the bar, and everybody she goes, oh shit, and she just scoops the coins into her apron. He goes, all right, drinks are on these people here, the champions of the B team, and everybody goes, ah! In the tavern. There's like a roar of the usual patrons that are there. And she pours out some ales of varying kinds into what could be loosely described as cups, and starts handing it out to some of the people.
Liquid containers.
I think you just bought several rounds.
That's a round of the good stuff. And yeah, like a cask or two of some wines and ales are broken open for this. And yeah, it's like in varying sizes of cups and whatnot, and occasionally there's like a small bucket gets like filled with something and handed to a troll.
I do get a cup for myself and ingest it somehow, because apparently
well, yeah,
I can do that.
The living dead thing means like you can eat, quote unquote, in that it doesn't hurt you, but
I'm just imagining
It's a small
like
cup pouring
It just
through.
says it goes through, yeah.
yeah,
it's like
you
that scene from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, when he like drinks the wine and just sort of like trickles down through his bones. But yeah, you get a small cup and you like knock it back and it trickles down through your bones. You don't
Is going to...
taste it,
Sorry.
because you don't have taste, but you do kind of feel it in your bones. It's got like an interesting sensation.
And I still made less of a mess than anyone else in the bar.
Yeah, considering the other patrons that are here, the trolls and orcs and ogres and whatnot. Yeah.
I'm gonna order some stew and some cheese.
All right, so you have ordered yourself some stew and cheese. You get a little bowl of stew with a tiny wheel of cheese just kind of thrown in there.
Yes.
It's just been like put in the middle.
Fine dining.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dip the cheese in the stew and eat the cheese stew.
Well, they already did that for you, so you can just eat the cheese
I'm just
out
gonna
of the stew.
Yeah.
they just stuck that in there. So yeah, you guys have yourself a decent meal.
I like this meal. It was delicious.
I'm probably going to skip out because Drakiar's mother's going to kill him if he comes home and already eaten.
Yeah. Yeah, because the thing was then this would be the evening. Because you guys had to get back by sunset, and then there was the riddles and then the fight, and then you guys were brought to the king from there. So yeah, this would be your dinner. There you go. But yeah, so you guys wrap up and eaten. You guys can head out this evening if you want, or you can head out in the morning. It's up to you guys. You don't have like a particular timetable on your mission like the A team got, but you got, just whatever you guys can manage.
Oh,
I mean, I think it's best if we go in the morning, because at least for me, I'm down to 2 spell slots remaining.
Yeah, I
Zero.
should probably rest up before we go.
I can go stand against a wall for a couple of hours.
Out of character, I don't remember who wanted it, but I do have the grappling hook, so Snake would want to give the grappling hook to whoever asked. I just don't remember
It was
who
the
it was. out of character.
Genasi.
No,
No, it was Talron.
it was the skeleton.
Talron.
Talron wanted the extra.
Okay.
All right.
Grappling hook you asked for. I have it for you.
Thank you. How much was it?
Don't worry about it.
Thank you, friend.
Oh, but Snake has to go get
Friend.
his armor.
I have to do that. We probably can do that in the morning before we go.
He told
Give
you
him
to come
time to
back
get
in 2.5 hours, so didn't
Oh,
he?
that's true. I'll do that on the way home then.
We spent a
Yeah.
couple hours in the evening having dinner.
Yeah.
Yes. Snake will just stop it on the way home if that's okay.
Yeah, you guys kind of wrap up your meal, then you guys head to your respective homes. Snake, you stop by Tooth and Claw, and he has your shield and your scale mail available for you as you come by. You pay him the 25 gold, and he takes the chain shirt from you and gets you fitted up. It fits you very well.
Yay!
It looks very handsome on you, on your usual size, and he kind of like tucks it in under your cloak. Surprisingly enough, he had, because I rolled myself a perception on this end, he did fit it with adjustable slats on the back so that you could wear it with your wings poking through. You do not need to remove this armor in order to use them.
Handy. Snake would notice this, and he wouldn't actually say anything. He just kind of quietly put another 10 gold on the table.
Well, I mean, like, he doesn't say anything as he gets you fitted into it. Like, doing up the straps and everything, and like, getting you set into the armor and, like, doing up the buckles and whatnot. He doesn't say anything about the wings or anything like that. He just gets it done up and puts your cloak back over top of it, and just, nods at you, and then takes the 25 gold and goes back over and starts hammering on something. And Claw, sort of leaning on the counter, smiles at you.
Yeah, no, what I mean, it's like, I know he doesn't say anything. Snack just kind of like pulls out an extra 10 gold and just puts it on the table. And kind of
as you take the 10 gold out, Claw kind of nods no at you, and like gestures for you to keep it. That, you know, they like their job, and they like taking care of folks.
He'll take all but one back then, he'll leave one. Just kind of the insistence of, I'm giving you something.
You like sheepishly put a gold on the floor and walk away.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, you like sheepishly kind of like put a coin on the floor, and she like smiles and rolls her eyes and walks over and picks it up as you head out, waves to you as you go.
I'm just gonna go home and sleep.
So yeah, you guys head home to your respective places. Esteban, you find like a quiet spot sort of to hang out in the streets somewhere, perhaps in an alley, just to kind of like sit and get those 4 hours in. That's just like your 4 hours of inactive state. And Quad, I believe you have a similar thing, or do you just not sleep at all?
It is a similar thing. So
yeah,
Alloy probably just goes to where everyone's meeting up the next day, and just waits there.
Talon would follow Alloy, and then just kind of would loom on either side of something, standing there and passing.
Did you guys find a place to meet? Were you gonna meet at the entrance, or the exit rather, in the arena, or where are you guys gonna go?
Which side is the entrance to the surface on?
It's a tunnel that's just underneath the balcony where the king stands.
In the arena?
Yes.
So probably at the arena?
Alright, cool. So yeah, as the rest of the evening passes on, you guys each head to your respective places. That would be for some. So Alloy and Talrand head to the arena.
Actually, could I catch Caleb before heading on home?
Sure.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. You guys got a thing.
Caleb, like I said before, I want to ask you about that statue you found.
Fire away. What do you want to know?
Where exactly did you find that?
Yeah. Well, if it wasn't obvious before coming here, I was a burglar. I survived on the surface by stealing what I could. I got that statue off of a nobleman in Igris who was a bit too sleepy to care.
See? But exactly where in the world was it?
What do you mean?
Like what? My mother comes from a clan of red dragonborns. You couldn't tell. You can see from the red scales mixed in with my black.
Sorta? Anyway, go ahead.
As it were, the clan she came from, there was a certain inheritance of treasure that I feel that I'm owed. It belonged specifically to my family, but my mother was unable to bring it back before she fled. And now, since we're now going to the surface, I'd like to take the chance to try and locate it.
Oh. Okay. I'm gonna give you a bit of a heads up right now. Getting that statue was a bit of a job. It took quite a bit of an effort. Like I said, got it from a nobleman. There was quite a bit of security at that place. Since I left there, I don't know what state the estate is in, but safe to say security has probably doubled since then.
Understand, I'm not looking to get into it right away. I just would like to be able to locate it and maybe bring it back just sometime during many trips up there.
Fair. Although on the other hand, security might have doubled since then. Might be worth it. Nope. More important stuff.
But yeah, you do remember the town that you got it from.
Yeah, Egress.
Egress, yeah. It was that place. And you remember of all the different things that you were looking at when you nabbed that statue, the statue seemed to be the only one of its kind. But the guy that you took it from might have known where it was from, how he got it, who traded it to him.
Oh boy. Okay. Obviously still speaking Drakiar. Okay, listen. When I was there, that statue was the only one. Like, the only one of its kind there. I didn't see anything else that might have been Red Dragonborn-ish. But there is a slim chance that if we do go back there, he might know where he got it specifically. Like, who he traded with, how he obtained it. He might have even gotten more since then. I don't know for sure.
I see. Well, thank you for, at least for this information as such. And if we ever find ourselves in that part of the world, perhaps we can look into learning about more, see if we can find more information out of this noble.
Of course. Oh, by the way, you said that your mother was from a clan of Red Dragonborn?
Yes, she was.
That thing I took wasn't their god, was it?
No, wouldn't believe so.
Okay, because if it was, I am sorry, but you know where it is, right?
Unfortunately, that's just about as much as I know myself. My mother has been rather tight-lipped about this information.
Tight-lipped, huh?
Indeed.
Well, not sure how I can up there. But...
Again, thank you for everything you've given me so far. I'll see you in the morning.
Yep, see you in the morning.
All right, you guys part ways and go to your respective homes and whatnot. Caleb, you have your place that's just out in the woods, and Drakir heads home, and so does Peefles.
Pibbles.
Pibbles, you find your way back into the usual sort of like goblin complex where a bunch of them are living in sort of like a block of apartments. A lot of the goblins are very happy to see you. It's really nice that one of their own sort of made it through a big challenge and a big trial, and everybody was, gushing and freaking out about all the different types of things you were doing in combat. When you're throwing daggers at dudes, and you're doing cool stuff, and you were like playing fucking music in your kazoos, and it was great. They're very excited. And there's like, the usual round of congratulations and whatnot before you get on into bed. Is there anybody that you wanted to talk to or anything like that before you head to sleep in specific? Or are you good?
Is Fibs around? I want to show him the bagpipes.
Fibs is absolutely hanging around in the main area.
Sweet. Be like, hey Fibs, look, I got them fixed, and now they don't leak anymore or belch fire. Well, I can make them, but they don't on their own.
Oh, I was gonna say, that doesn't sound very fun.
No, they're real fun now. I got fuel to put in them, but I gotta be careful, and it's in jars, and I shouldn't put my hair in it, because, that's how this ended up purple last time.
It doesn't run on hair?
No, it uses the fuel. It smells good, though.
Does
Floaty.
it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'll open up a jar and let him have a whiff. And I'll put it back away very
his
carefully.
like one of his eyes closes and his eyes water up, and everybody's like, "Wow, that's pretty cool."
Right? It smells really good. And like watch, and I'll like make a sound a little bit and just be like,
you give it like
see?
a little honk. Like a little tiny like comes out the side of it. But yeah, it like makes like a honk.
See? It does the stuff now.
That's really exciting. Wow.
Yeah, I can't wait to use it on the surface. I'm gonna blow some shit up.
As long as you're not one of those things, you just take it easy, okay?
And were you watching? I got to use one of the kazoos you gave me.
Oh, nice. Which one? Was it the yellow one?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I used it for my thunder wave, and I basically used it like a thunder kazoo. It was great.
You just blew the kazoo really hard and it knocked some people over?
Yeah.
Ah, classic piffles.
Yeah.
Okay, don't break any windows.
I won't. I gotta go to bed, though, because we gotta get up early.
Okay, have a good sleep. Bye.
Bye.
And he
Wait,
hobbles
there's
off
still windows
to...
in the Goblin Town?
There's like 5. There's just a pitifully small amount of windows left in any of these places. Occasionally they get fixed, but, they don't last long.
Like the contractor goes through, it's like, alright, finally, we've replaced all the windows. Oh.
Raynor, as Drakir gets home, you are welcomed to the usual sight of your father sort of sitting in one of the corner study areas, smoking on a pipe, reading a large book. Your mother is having a cup of tea and is looking very concerned.
I'm home.
Yes, and your dad sort of shuts his book as he looks up and goes, "Ah, there he is, the big hero." And he like chuckles to himself. So that was some quite impressive work you did out there.
Oh, I only wish to help my fellow members.
Well, it's quite impressive. I mean, I knew you could cast magic, but I've never seen you really use it in that capacity before. It's quite well done. Good job, my boy.
Well,
and your mother just goes, "I don't think it's right that he's going to be going to the surface and he's going to be fighting monsters or talking to orcs and God knows what else. Dealing with these people, it's too dangerous."
Mother, I'm not a child anymore. I know you're worried, but I need to be able to spread my proverbial wings, as it were.
Mother.
And she sighs and nods. Goes, "I know, I just... Promise me you'll be safe, yes?"
I promise you I'll never do anything to put me at an unnecessary danger.
Thank you. And she sort of like sighs and deflates into her seat a little bit. And your dad goes, "See, he's not reckless. He's just doing work that needs to be done. And it might be a little dangerous, but it's in service of the king. Come now." Everything will be fine. And you head off to bed. Early the next morning, as everybody's getting up. Oh, actually, sorry, I almost forgot. Heading off to the usual temple that you do, Snack. The temple that is just to the east of the gates where most of the other kobolds and lizard folk have been living. As you make your way there, you find that a lot of the kobolds don't come and speak to you, but they do regard you with a distant respect. Nobody's clapping you on the shoulders or cheering for you or anything, but some of them do smile and nod at you as you make your way through to your usual like area where you sleep. And yeah, like the usual sort of like people tossing rocks or other harassment that you might receive from some of the kobolds there at the very least, you don't receive.
Kind of just like as he's walking through, he kind of just keeps looking around, like waiting for the other shoe to drop.
It doesn't drop. At least for the time being, these people are impressed. That little snack, what sweeps up at the palace, actually did some shit. Fought a bunch of skeletons and certainly did a measure better than the other trained fighters that the kobolds produced. So
Yeah, that'll last until they realize I'm the reason they almost got killed.
if they ever find out. So
That's a... Yeah, let's not have that happen.
So yes, early the next morning, you guys wake and make your way out and about to the arena. Raynor, Drakir's mom, makes him a hearty sandwich and a few other meals. I'm gonna say that is I'm gonna say 2 days worth of meals for travel, and she just packs them into a little bag and hands them to you, and absolutely refuses to let you leave unless you take this food with you.
I take it.
All right, and then yeah, you guys meet up in the arena, and the large doors that are underneath the balcony that the king stands on, as you approach them, open with a large creak, and from the walls as you walk through the portal that's there, you hear the voice of the king.
As you go forth to the surface, remember, find the orcs, find this beast, return to me.
And yeah, as you enter that tunnel, it gets unnaturally dark, and then you feel a bit of a shift in yourself as you're walking through the tunnel, and you find yourselves in the tunnels at the surface, to the map itself, the Great Gates of Autometh, at the top of the monstrous wastes. Now, you guys need to be heading to about this area on the map, and that is a few days' travel.
All right.
Do you guys just make your way on?
Well,
Do I remember anything of the area?
This area in specific, as you make your way out into the monstrous wastes itself, you don't remember a lot. You remember that
being in Westfall.
This place, it's Shimmering Flats.
Music.
Yeah, it's Shimmering Flats. This is World of Warcraft. But yeah, as you make your way out, Talron doesn't remember a lot about this area. The things that he typically hunted were not deployed into this monstrous waste. He was oftentimes cautioned against it. That even the woods to the south that separate the main lands of the Empire and the monstrous wastes themselves, those forests were avoided for the large part, and that if he was to go into those spaces to hunt, it was very much cautioned to do so.
Well, you know what I used to hunt.
Yeah. Even then, it was just, please be careful as you go into those areas. They are extremely dangerous.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So you guys make your way out into the monstrous wastes, walking across the sort of blighted wasteland that exists up here just outside of the gates. What formation do you guys keep as you walk?
I know, I'm gonna run ahead and look at stones.
Give me perception.
Try to keep up with Piffles, but keep a more perceptive eye rather than just looking at stones.
There's so many shiny stones. Hang on, I have to roll a perception.
Alloy would probably be somewhere in the middle of the group so that you can easily.
Oh shit, I
react
actually
to anything.
perceived shit.
Okay. So, as you're going along, Piffles, you're sort of like hopping and skipping along the beaten trail that heads in that direction-ish. Mostly, it's just sort of a pathway that winds between the jagged outcrops of rocks and the gray, wasteful sands and caked earth. The rocks that you find, almost all of them, as you pick them up, crumble in your hands.
Oh.
There is no life in the stones whatsoever. There is such a tremendous absence of life that as you're kind of going along and you pick up another rock and another rock after that, you turn them over in your hands, inspecting them, it is just this gray, worthless stone, and most of them just crumble into, clay and dust and whatnot in your hands.
I turn around and there's nothing wrong with these stones. They don't stay stones, and I'm concerned.
I go over and I go over to.
I would like to cast Aid on me, Piffles, and Drakir.
Okay.
Rainer's character.
Alright.
Yeah. It's just a one action, 30-foot range, whatever. Here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Aid. Yeah, click on it.
Yeah, 1 second. It prompts me with different things.
It's okay. There you go. Aid. Abjuration. It's 30 feet. Up to 3 creatures within range, and it lasts 8 hours. Bolsters your allies with toughness and resolve. Choose up to 3 creatures within range. Their hit point maximum and current hit points increase by 5 for the duration.
Cool.
Yeah.
So the 3 squishiest members of the party now have 5 extra hit points.
There you go.
Are those temporary hit points or regular hit points?
Temporary for
but they last
8
for 8
hours.
hours.
Yeah.
Cool.
But as I go up to Piff and try to see what she's talking about.
Yeah, I pick up a stone and I'm gonna hold out to my hand. I'm gonna turn it over and it's gonna crumble. And I'm like, they don't stay stones. There's no life out here. Not even a little bit.
Do I know what would cause this kind of thing?
I mean, if you want, you can either give me perception or Arcana. 17. You definitely get the feeling, with the absolute tremendous lack of life that exists in this land right now, you definitely get the feeling that it was magical in nature, that this land was unnaturally blighted by something cataclysmic. But it was also a very long time ago, so any traces of whatever that magic could have been is gone.
The only thing that could have caused this is magic.
Hmm.
But unfortunately, that was so long ago, the magic's no longer here. So I can't exactly check to see what kind of magic.
Okay, but does that mean all of these big old mountainy things around us, are they all gonna crumble like this rock?
I carefully poke at one of the shards with my staff, like the tall shards of rock.
It crumbles a little bit. Like if you jab it with your staff, like a bit of it crumbles off in the same way that the smaller rocks would crumble if you handled them.
Very much seems like it. There is just no life here whatsoever.
We're gonna have to be careful around those big ones, not to do anything that's gonna make them cause a slide, a landslide. A rock-a-lanche? Rock-a-lanche.
I believe
Surf
the term is avalanche. Wait. Landslide.
Rock-a-lanche.
You sure it's landslide? That sounds like something that would try and eat us.
That's why I'm saying it's a rock-a-lanche. It's like when all the snow falls off of something, but with rocks.
I think Pickles is right.
So, god damn it. So you guys are making your way along. Give me a perception.
Well, wouldn't that be passive perception?
Sure. What's everybody's passive perception?
Where do I find that again? Is that just my wisdom?
It's 10 plus your perception.
10 plus my perception?
14.
Yeah, it'd be right immediately under the skills on your character sheet.
Mm-hmm. 13,
I'm
12,
skill.
14, good.
Hang on. I'm confused.
Passive wisdom, parentheses
Oh,
perception.
okay, so I just click my wisdom?
No.
I have to type it.
Yeah, you gotta
Check
type
where
it. It's okay,
Oh,
here, I'll
passive
just-
perception. I found it. I just
There you go.
my sheets.
Talrand was actively looking out, though.
Okay, yeah,
can't
if you wanna roll me a perception and you just pick the better of the two.
I'll
Yeah.
take the passive.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, as you guys are sort of scanning the horizon, you see in the distance, walking north, a tremendous creature. A huge fucking mountain ogre, stone ogre that's got 2 eyes, though I couldn't find a better picture, so this has just got the one. For people who are playing the A campaign, will recognize Ogron, the massive fucking monster that they found in the wasteland and convinced to go to the door.
Uh-oh.
Now let's
Is it
see.
coming towards us?
He's heading in sort of the opposite direction of you, as you're making your way south from the gate before you head more in a westerly direction. He's moving north and east-ish. So he's not on your path, but he's on a path that's semi-close by. As there's no, like, defined paths, there's just sort of, like, winding areas between the large, sharp stone crags. Let's see. Yeah, he sees you guys. As you guys are heading south, he absolutely sees you, bunch, and he just stomp, starts like slowly moving towards you. So you see this great big creature making his way in your direction.
Alloy is going to kind of position himself between the group and the creature
Okay.
and just turn back and it's just like, should we... How should we handle this situation?
Careful.
I mean, do we even know if he's hostile?
Remember, you guys can roll insight, I believe.
Ooh, I will do this.
To give you guys an idea as to like what someone means by certain actions. 6, 8. Good
Oh
lord.
man, he's coming to kill us.
All right, so
I rolled a 2. I don't see anything.
you are
Like, is that a
disturbed
really big goblin?
by the fact that there is a large gray monster walking towards you with huge teeth, and his fingers are about the size of you. As he trudges along through the wastes, coming towards you with his great big stupid eyes. You're not really sure, friend or foe. Snek, he's not threatening. A creature that size, if he was intending to hurt you, would be moving a lot faster than that and would probably be making a lot more noise and might have a weapon or be, making fists. But he just seems to be walking in your direction.
Snack thinks he's scary because he's big, but he's not actually scary. Snack thinks maybe just wants to talk.
Really?
Darren!
Well played, sir. Well played.
Wait, what?
He changed his icon.
I forget
Oh,
our
did he?
ways
Shit,
well.
I've got icons turned off.
Oh, he changed it to the little doodle that Cutie did of the ...
Fuck. Oh man, where is that?
Hold on a second.
Change it back so we can see.
Neighbor chat times it. There
That
it is.
one.
Yeah, there it is.
That's what we were all giggling about.
Ding. Yeah, he's
He's like,
no. But yeah, so
I am going to ready my daggers
use-
in one hand and granola in the other.
Could I use Snack's statement to roll perception to double check what he's saying?
double check what who's saying.
What Snack said about his overall posture and what he's running toward. That he's not running towards us, but rather walking.
Yeah, give a perception.
Natural 1.
That's okay. Your insight of 8 though, it's like with Acolyte saying like, no, if he was threatening, he would be, moving a lot faster, he'd be making fists. He'd be certainly taking a much more threatening posture. You think Snek might be right, but you've also never seen one of these creatures up close before, so you're not necessarily sure what its body posture means. So, you just like it's up to you if you guys want to like ready yourselves or if you want to trust in Snek.
I trust
Like I said, I'm gonna put daggers between my fingers in one hand. I'm gonna have granola.
Granola in the
I
other.
have friend in one hand, foe in the other hand. Friend, foe.
I'm going to trust Snek on this, but I'm going to be prepared to cast a spell if I need to.
Alright. So this thing moves kind of like trudging up over one of the jagged rock formations, pushing aside a large boulder as it makes its way over to you, and it stares down at your group. It stops about 10 feet or so away. Does anybody say anything?
Hi.
Hello.
Do you like granola?
He kind of like looks down and goes, "Door!" And he spits a little, and he spits a piece of paper out of his mouth onto the dirt. It apparently has some writing in it from the previous A-team that ran into him.
I'll go ahead and pick up that paper.
I'm imagining he's standing over Alloy right now, and that just like a bunch of goop just lands on him.
He's about 10 feet back. Like, he's not getting too close to you guys, because he's showing like a bit of caution. But yeah, he shouted "door" very loudly and then spit this paper at your feet. So he doesn't manage to get a lot of goo on you, Alloy. It's like maybe a bit on your foot. But then, yeah, a large piece of paper just kind of into the dirt.
Tolerant picks up the paper.
I use prestidigitation to remove the saliva from the.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you like, with a quick spell and a gesture, remove the saliva from the paper without damaging it. And you can see on the paper, written very crisply, is the name Autometh and Benjamin Hyde.
Oh, he's asking for directions.
All right.
He has to go see the Benny Skelly.
Tolerant turns around and points and giving him relatively accurate directions.
Yeah, you guys haven't been traveling for too long, so you can kind of still see like the particular mountain where the doors are, and you kind of point at that, and he goes, "Ah, are you skeleton?"
I am a friend of the skeleton you're looking for.
Oh, he looks kind of sad.
It's gonna look like him,
very-
but he's got a mustache.
Mustache.
The big fluffy thing on his face.
A moustache.
He looks confused.
It's like you take a squirrel and you put it right here, and I'm gonna point under my nose.
He like looks really confused at you, and he's like, "But why?"
You know,
I don't know. It's weird.
I'm going to draw him a pic. I'm going to draw him my best attempt of a picture of Benjamin Hyde.
Oh man, what would that be? Perform?
Yeah, probably performance.
Yeah, because you're doing art. Do me a performance.
Do him an art check.
Do me an art check because you're drawing some stuff in the sand.
Oh.
Or on the paper.
Yeah, you draw a passable, like, skeleton, curly mustache, top hat, and you point at it, and he goes, "Oh!" He looks at the drawing, looks at Talrand, and he squints. Okay.
You're very close, though. Just right over there. Like, try to hand him back the piece of paper.
Yeah, he, like, very toddler, like puts his hand out. You put the paper in his hand, and he, like, looks at it again and picks it between two of his fingers, stashes it in his mouth again, and then starts, like, trudging off north towards the door. And off he goes.
Guess I must guess the other team pointed him back in the direction of Artemeth.
I'm sorry. Do we immediately see him go, like, leaning towards the left from the direction?
As you watch him as he's going, he's got it. Like, he's going mostly in the right way. And if he sticks to the road, like, he doesn't, like, deviate off towards any of the crags or anything like that. Like, he's pretty much got it. Yeah. You think he's about got it.
Good.
Good.
Daggers in one hand, granola in the other. Stop, or the granola gets it.
Does the city have facilities for such a large creature?
The city has facilities for trolls. And you.
I was imagining he was bigger than the trolls we encountered.
Oh, he's much bigger. That is a mountain ogre. It is considerably large. Like, it is a large creature. But he's quite big. Yeah, he stands closer to maybe 15 feet high.
I mean, we have minotaurs in the city.
There's a lot of forest. He can
Like
get
biggest
lost
fan.
in the city.
Snack thinks maybe we should keep going, because that one was friendly. That they might not all be.
Mm.
All right, so yeah, no, Snack makes a good point, and you guys continue on your way, and largely it's not terribly eventful as you go along. With your passive perceptions, you don't see really anything out of the ordinary. It's like you just kind of keep heading in the direction, following where the sun is, to keep yourself oriented, and it's just more waste as you go. Pretty much far as the eye can see, just blighted nothing.
I'm gonna play my kazoo and skip as we go.
Give me a
'Cause
performance check.
There's nothing happy out here, and I'm bored.
Give me a performance.
You mean the bard's #1 skill?
Yeah. Fuck, it's awesome. 19.
Best kazoo ever.
It is very uplifting to the spirits of everybody who's on the expedition. Suddenly, the blighted wasteland of infinite waste seems a little cheerier as you guys go along.
Yeah.
And it sort of helps you keep pace. You guys don't drag feet as much.
Hopefully the blighted wasteland doesn't take exception to us being cheery.
Playing happy kazoos. I'll be rolling for that as you guys go along. But as the first night comes to a close, that's pretty much it. There wasn't anything else that you guys ran into. How do you guys manage your sleeping, and where do you sleep?
We should probably make a fire for I don't know, should we? How warm is it?
It's like in the teens.
With
Okay.
what lumber are we making a fire with?
This is true.
Also, just don't really need it if it's that warm.
I could set one of my jars on fire.
Save
That
it.
might not be a good idea.
You need. Yes.
Look, please don't. I'm gonna have to ask you to stop.
Oh, but
We've
Cooper
seen it.
once told me that granola makes good kindling, but it's also tasty.
Save it for an emergency.
So yeah, you guys relatively easily as you're going along, as the sun's going down, you manage to find just like under one of the large like outcropping rocks. There's like you can find caves or at least little hidey spaces in or next to one of the overhanging rocks. You guys can sort of like nestle in there for the evening. Temperature
safe, though?
through the night gets to be about 10 degrees, so it's not too cold.
Tolerant would
are they
make his
safe,
way
though,
to
with
the
the-
top of the rock.
But,
Oh,
but
yeah.
are the rocks safe though? Cause rocklanche.
They're not going to heave over immediately, you don't think?
Okay.
Technically, I got some torches on me. I can use a couple of them to make a makeshift campfire.
No,
Mm,
technically, so do I. Doc, before we do this whole sleep thing,
Mhm.
I'm going to cast Aid again, same 3 targets.
Yeah.
Then sleep.
Absolutely. Now, Aid's a second level spell for you, right?
Yes, which means it would be my second cast. But if we've been traveling all day, it would mean I'd basically be casting my second cast of it, which would be my 2 slots for the day, and then going to sleep.
All right. And through
Someone
the 8
getting a
hours,
rest.
as everybody's sleeping, I imagine if you guys rest for a full 8 hours, what do you guys do for watch?
who wants to go first?
Alloy, I'll take. We should alternate.
Oh, right, because you guys don't sleep, do you? With the whole, and I point to my eyes and like roll my eyes back in my head, like you
If-
don't sleep.
If we split the other 4 up for 2 hours, we can have 2 sets of eyes available at all points in the evening.
That does
Snack-
sound wise.
Snack needs to actually sleep for 8 hours.
You're covered in
Um,
spells.
You can go up to like a 10-hour period, and that'll give everybody 8 hours of rest, with the alternating 2 hours from the other team.
That works.
Mm.
All right. So then, yeah, you guys get in some shut-eye. Through the night, there is... Nothing. Cool. All right.
There could have been something.
There could have been a lot of things. So yeah, you guys make it through, and yeah, as the sun comes up the next day, it's you get like a relative idea as to where the sun is, but there always seems to be sort of a gray sky hanging over this space as well. And you continue on your travels.
At the very least, we did not wake the Brono Nubs.
Sorry, I have a
Romo.
question, Doc.
Mm.
With my living dead, it says I remain fully aware of my surroundings. Does that mean I can roll perception on those entirely? I just can't be doing, like, active things, if that makes sense. Like, wandering around, working on things. I just have to stay in a place and, watch.
During your inactive state, I'm going to give you your passive perception during that time, because you're not like actively searching or looking around or doing anything. You're just remaining in an inactive state. But you do still have your perception of your surroundings. Yes.
Okay.
I kind of have the same thing as well.
Yeah.
So we
you
kind of
guys,
have, like,
when
2
you're
and a half
inactive,
sets of eyes.
yeah, like when you're inactive, you guys still have like the ability to sort of observe your surroundings more or less and become active if you need to. All right.
Basically, Quad could, like, the other person could just say, "There's something out there," and the other person would immediately become alert to it.
Yes. Even if if one of the persons who was on watch was like, I see something, then the other person would be able to see and hear them say that, and they could immediately just activate and sit up. Acolyte's Neck casts Aid to start the day. All right. So yeah, you just, your usual clerical magic that you let off like a spell, and it gives that extra HP to the 3 party members as per usual, and off you guys go. So otherwise, yeah, I intend to cast Age at the start of each day. 8 hours later, cast it again, which means we won't have it at night while we're asleep, which is fine. Yeah, so throughout the day, you'll have that spell. Yeah, for the next, I'm gonna say 2 days, there is... Okay, goes by uneventfully. Actually, you know what? Give me who's on watch as you guys are going.
I think probably Talrand as the.
I'm sorry. Who's on watch
As you guys
while
travel.
we're? I would never drop watch, so
Yeah,
sure.
give me a perception.
Me and Piffles are small.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm just like skipping ahead like I usually do.
On near the close of your 3rd day, as you're making your way in this direction. Or sorry, I'm gonna say near the close of your 4th day, as you're making your way in this direction. You see on the tops of some of these rock outcroppings, these crags, you see an orc keeping a watch on you guys.
Does he hear my kazoo?
He most definitely can hear your kazoo. Talrand sees a scout.
I call it Piffles.
What?
We're being watched.
Oh. But they're orcs. Orcs aren't terrible.
No, Talrand actually, obviously looks and holds a empty hand up to the orc.
Yeah, as you look in his direction, and then you put up an open hand to him in sort of like not a waving gesture, but in a hi, kind of thing.
Hi, not drawing weapons, not drawing bow, fitting arrows, that sort of thing.
You see the orc sort of just dip out of view when you do that. He vanishes.
What colored skin did the orc have?
He was gray as the wastes out here.
Whoa, those are the guys you're supposed to look for.
Means they're probably nearby. You said this was approaching evening, Doc?
Mm-hmm. Approaching the evening of the 4th day.
Is it starting to get dark out, or is it still kind of light?
It's like twilight. The sun's heading down, but it's not getting too dark yet.
Okay.
Probably not a good idea to make camp right now.
No.
You know that you could reach the location you're trying to get to by tomorrow about midday-ish.
We'd be really tired if we did that, and I don't think all of us can see in the dark very well.
I can see okay. I have dark vision.
I think Caleb's the only one who doesn't have dark vision.
Nope,
Five's
I
not
don't.
so good at sneaking.
Surprisingly. I'm a giant machine built for war. Lying at the bat at night.
I'm sorry, I all of a sudden pictured Alloy, giant halberd held in one hand and then teeny tiny torch held in the other going, I can't see anything. Where are they?
Please come into the light so that I can kill you.
If I can see you in the light, I can probably reach you.
Just cut to an artificer somewhere else in the world. Night vision! That's what I forgot. Damn it.
Damn it! Son of a bitch.
Snack knows that maybe we might be a little bit nervous about stopping, but it's probably better if we stop and are refreshed, and then I can keep casting spells, than if we push on, are tired, and can't keep casting spells.
Approach
If
the.
we do, we should probably take extra precautions when.
Not
We
to
may can't.
mention, we seem to have spooked him, and if we move through in the night, it might look like we are trying to sneak up on them.
Yes.
This is true. What if I play my kazoo really loud? Do you think they'll come find us?
Better
if you
they
play it
find
at
us than us
regular
find them the hard way.
Yeah.
They will still be able to find us.
If I could play happy music, and then they'll know that we're not a threat.
Let's just say if we make camp, I'd like to have us have like 3 walls around the camp, if possible.
Can we find an outcropping with such a nook?
An outcropping?
Perception?
You do, yeah. Give me, I'm gonna carry your 21. I'm gonna let that slide. Let
I
you.
have a pretty good understanding of the area.
Yeah, you have you have been fucking sharp today. And yeah, you find like one of the large crags overhangs, and there's like a pseudo cave in there that you guys can sort of make defensible and scuttle into for the night.
So basically, even if Alloy and Talrand were deactivated, they could just be staring at the entrance and be alerted.
Yeah.
Talrand would again perch himself at like not the highest point, but above, like on the outcropping above the entrance.
Yeah.
He does.
It gives you a very good view of that area.
And he doesn't need to be comfortable while he rests, and for most things, he'll be largely invisible.
What's funny is that when you go inactive, the lights in your eyes go out, and you just look like a dead person. For all intents and purposes, he just looks like a skeleton that someone left there. Like, it's...
Gross.
Yeah, like, it's a very convincing dead guy. But yeah, so you climb up there for your thing. Let's see.
Alloy just stands at the entrance of the cave, barely moves.
Yeah, standing there, keeping an eye. And as the night passes, okay, cool. Oh wait, shit, you guys saw that. Fuck. Okay, that's fine. It's fine.
We can
Alright.
pretend we didn't see it.
I saw nothing.
He says you see nothing. As day breaks the next morning, you guys are sort of waking up and rolling up your bedrolls and getting your gear on and getting ready to move. You see approaching you in the open, not hiding or anything like that, and with their weapons holstered. At least 2 of them, another one of them is carrying a sort of like large axe, are 3 of these orcs as they walk up to your encampment, and they stay about 15 feet back as they approach you guys sitting there. Outsiders, what brings you to our part of nowhere?
Hello.
We come from the Undercity of. How do you pronounce it?
Azimuth.
Azimuth?
Autometh.
Autometh.
From the Undercity.
It's like
of
autumn and meth.
You come from the Great Doors.
Yes.
Our king wishes to put forth an invitation to your tribe to come join.
All who are known to enter the Great Doors do not return. All who are
That's
entering
because-
the Great Doors are said to die. And they gesture over to Talrand, like him.
I was dead long before I went to the Great Doors.
I'm from the
Snake
Great
isn't dead.
Doors.
Snake
I grew up there.
They say all who live beyond the Great Doors, if they live at all, are puppets to monsters.
I'm not a puppet. I have my own free will. See?
Beyond
I see
those
no
Very
monsters down
Oh,
there.
give puppets a bagpipe like that one.
It's not so much that anyone who passes over them dies. It's more so that we don't usually wish to leave.
It's safe in there, and we have granola.
As
Give me is it persuasion or diplomacy? I'm trying to remember
I'd say
what
diplomacy.
what they have on their sheets now.
It's persuasion.
It is persuasion. Yeah, diplomacy was removed. Yeah,
I
so
mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah, give me persuasion.
Moving on. Yes. God damn it! I'm usually good at this.
That's okay. Yeah, so Drekir, as you say that the people who go there don't typically wish to leave. That was you, yes?
Yes.
Yeah. One of the orcs, like the one who's speaking at the very least, narrows his eyes at you and says, "We'll just see about that. If you would like to make your case and speak to our chieftain, we'll bring you along.
Okay.
But no funny business."
What kind of funny business? Because I have kazoo.
They sort of ignore the statement and gesture for you guys to come along with them. Another 2 scouts are sort of positioned at the tops of mountains, like those rock crags, sort of in the distance a little bit, keeping an eye on you guys as you travel along through the crags, and they bring you eventually to a orcish encampment in the middle of the wastes.
As we're walking, though, Talrand would try to ask. Would say, "May I ask a question of you?" To the leader. "I am looking for a vampire. Have you seen any?"
He turns his head very slowly and looks at you with a stern gaze and goes, "Haven't seen any leeches. Thank God for that."
It may look different from what you expect.
How so?
Talrand, I sent you a DM on Discord.
You hand this over to the orc?
Yes, kind of mildly secretive, not trying to show it off, but anyone can potentially try to look if they want.
Yeah, so you, using some subterfuge, you hand the folded paper over to the orc, and he opens it and has a look at it as you guys are walking. And he kind of squints.
What?
He goes, "A child."
Yes.
"Haven't seen any leeches, haven't seen any little girls." And he folds up the paper and he hands it back to you.
Okay. Thank you.
And
You
he,
see Alloy just kind of looks back at them, at that conversation for a second before continuing to look forward.
What languages do orcs typically speak?
Orcish. Goblinoid
Orcish
in
or
D&D.
Giant?
I would say, yeah, because Orcish is a language, isn't it?
Maybe?
It might be Goblinoid.
It
as a
wasn't 3 on
language.
point. I know it was in 3.5.
Do they know Comet?
Really depends on the tribe.
They are speaking in sort of a broken common as they talk to you.
Okay, because that would.
Yeah.
We rolled great insight checks. Had no idea what the others were saying.
Okay, yeah. Orcish is a thing.
Yeah. So then they would that would probably be their first language. But sorry, I did forget to mention that. Yes, they are speaking in a bit of a broken common. There's small grammatical errors here and there, but it is alarmingly enough a common speech. They take you to the gates of not a big village, but it's not pitiful. It's like somewhere in between of the two spaces. But yeah, and they invite you in, and you see a lot of like small huts and other structures and whatnot inside what is this? I believe it's called a pillory, like the wood stake gate. That's out the other side. But yeah, they bring you in through the gate. There's like a watchtower off to the one side that you see there. There's a scout sort of looking down at you guys as you enter, and yeah, they don't react, hostile, but everyone is on guard as you're coming in. There's a few of them with bows, sort of, keeping a watch at you from the watchtowers and other areas around the outside. In the center of the village area, there is a large sort of teepee-esque tent with an opening, and one of the orcs takes you to the entrance and then gestures for you guys to go in.
I'll go in.
All right.
Yes. I follow in as well.
As you guys enter, there are another two large orcish guards on the inside. You can definitely tell by their skin that they live in these wastelands. Let's see if I can find you guys a picture. Yeah, they're not as large or as intimidating as your standard orcs that you're used to, but they're by no means like small. They're still orcs.
I'm little. Everything's big to me.
Yeah, like
They're not the big chunky orcs. They're slightly smaller, chunky, wiry orcs.
Yeah, like their muscles are definitely a lot more toned down than you're used to, and they have a lot of like sort of tribal paints on them, more than you're used to seeing from some of the guys that are in Autometh.
Oh.
But yeah, their tusks are
Pointy
definitely
orcs.
smaller. Their like the paints and stuff on them are a lot more accentuated. Like they're definitely using some kind of blood to streak their hair and to put paints on them and whatnot. They don't wear armor more than like maybe a loincloth or something. They carry large, very brutal weapons like axes and hammers made out of just like large boulders attached to sticks. Nothing terribly fancy. And
Zerkers.
yeah, more or less. And in the middle, there's like a small fire, and sitting across on the other side of the fire, at a large chair, what would be considered perhaps a throne to these people, is an orcish chieftain. Definitely older. He's got some gray on him and a few braided beads and whatnot in his beard, and he looks up to you and he kind of squints his eyes and furrows his brow a bit, and he gestures for you to sit around the fire.
Do I know an appropriately respectful way to sit for him?
Oh, Jesus. I mean, you can try, but the orcs that you are used to are not the orcs from here.
Yeah, I was thinking of that myself as we were getting in here. That
Maybe a history check or religion?
I say history if you want. There's like little wood stumps around the fire that he gestures to for you to sit on, but
I'm just gonna plonk down on one and dangle my legs.
yeah.
I am little.
Alloy, if you do choose to sit, you find that these stumps are definitely capable of holding your weight. it's a fun change of pace. Yeah, but again, like the wood that you find in this place is also like just bleached gray, and it's considerably more brittle than the wood you know from the kingdom, but it still holds up. Like it's still a stump. It still does its job when you sit on it. Drekir, with a history 11, you know that there are tribes of orcs and trolls and greenskins of varying denominations that still live on the surface up here. They're very stubborn, very proud people, very much of the opinion that the longer that they live here and the harder the life is on the surface, the stronger that makes them. So they are very excited. Well, not excited, but they definitely have like a pride about themselves and feel themselves to be, have earned their place here through the hardships they endure. Acolyte Sneck would figure out about the same thing. With a 16. Just that also, like, again, when you're speaking to them, just remember that these are people that are proud to be here. Despite its hardships, they feel that it is, their right to be here, and it makes them strong to live in hardships. So, what brings you to my village?
We hail from the undercity of Artemith. I believe your tribe refers to them as the Great Doors.
The Great Doors. And he leans back in his chair. He reaches into one of his into his coat and produces a small pipe. And he kind of takes out a little bag and takes some herbs out of it and starts packing it into the pipe as he sort of thinks and regards each of you. After a moment, he puts the pipe in his mouth and sort of like snaps his fingers, and a little bit of fire goes off into the pipe. He takes a puff on it and sort of quietly looks at the rest of you for another moment before speaking again. Since long before my time, my fathers, and them before them have all said the doors mean death in the worst possible way. All who enter the doors do not come out.
That's because it's safe.
Now see that.
And colorful. And
Is
we have granola.
And he blows a bit of smoke out from his nose. That sounds like magic trickery.
No, see? And I'll pull out the brick of granola. See? You want it's granola. We make it there.
I cover
and
Piff's
it's got
mouth
good stuff in it.
with my hand.
Only those. Oh, only those that are worthy are able to cross through the gates unharmed.
He raises his eyebrows. Give me persuasion. Yeah.
Oh, so close to an act 20.
He raises his eyebrows and he leans forward from his chair, blowing a bit more smoke out of his nose. Worthy, says you.
You must be worthy of the king's grace.
Our king has heard word of your power and wishes to offer you a place by his side.
The Stonebone tribe has survived on this surface for countless generations. We have earned our place here. We have bought it with blood and strength, and it has made us powerful.
The king recognizes that.
If we move into your kingdom, what's to say we won't become fat and lazy, assuming we live at all?
We just had to participate in a trial to get to come up here. We had to fight a giant-ass skeleton minotaur dude.
Okay. Sneck would actually, like, open his cloak to show that he's got, like, 10 daggers and a crossbow and, like, all, like, the armor and all like that.
Like, it was a privilege for us to come up here. We had to fight just to be able to come up here.
Okay, so he would kind of just, like, open showing, like, all the weapons he has.
This is what I put on in the morning when I climb out of bed. Every day down there.
And he sort of like, he stands and leans over to get a closer look at it and goes, using metal to protect your skin. Is it perhaps because you're too soft underneath? Too much time living underground. And of course you had to do a challenge to get to this surface here. It's a hard place.
Why
This
kill
wasteland
with
will
snake-
eat you if you're not careful.
Why kill with Sneck's hands? What he can hunt from range.
Why would you not kill with your hands? It's so much more fun. He like sits in his chair and takes another drag in his pipe. Like what?
There is
Why? Like,
Glorious
Very-
melee combat.
There is
Right
strength
now.
in knowing how to hunt the best way.
There's strength in knowing your strength.
ah, you speak of wisdom, tiny one. This is known.
And within the city, you would be the pinnacle of strength, the target for others to reach. You would be challenged.
There's a
You-
coliseum you could hone your skills in.
Oh, the Colosseum's fun. That's where we fought the Minotaur.
Colosseum. Arena.
It's an arena just for fighting stuff.
He like leans back in his chair and takes another long drag on his pipe, and he thinks.
And the Bone King can summon all kinds of skeletons for you to fight. Like, it's like unending. The whole sand of the bottom of the arena is made of dead people.
You can
He-
die. You can
he-
fight until you die and be brought back to fight again.
Yep.
He frowns at the mention of the skeletons and the floor of the arena made of bones and other things. And he goes, there is little honor in fighting the dead. It's not right. What dies should stay down. However, healing, your king can also heal.
Yeah,
Yes.
he made Tolerant so that he can be alive.
And for some, he allowed the continuation of our life's goal.
Our great king
Yeah,
bestowed
he-
upon me the power to heal.
He points at Talrand and looks to the rest of your group. This isn't living. This isn't right. Many of our tribe are made terribly uncomfortable by this.
He's alive. Sneck can heal him.
What greater life is one where combat need not end? Where even in your death you can continue to prove your strength.
Without death, life and combat have no meaning. Things have to die, little one.
With
And one
death,
day
you are
I will
eventually
die
forgotten.
again. Unlike the mindless dead that the king commands in fight, I am of my own will, and when I die again, when my purpose, my hunt is filled,
Besides, the mindless dead, that's a punishment. That's when people do really, really, really bad things. So it's kind of like they deserve it.
Talrand, give me persuasion.
oh, this is gonna go fucking terrible.
And he rolls a natural.
Never mind.
You called that!
That's funny. So yeah, you're talking about how
Hear you.
like how you still
I can't hear you. Hang on.
have free will. Oh wait, hold on.
There we go. Now I can hear you.
There you go. Okay.
Sorry.
So you're talking about free will and about how you can still like think and you can still do things, and the chieftain slowly gets up out of his chair and walks over to where Talrand is, and he leans in and regards you very closely. You have free will.
I do.
Oh, thank you, Piffles.
Sorry, I didn't
I,
know that we had to roll something
above
again.
all, hunt what I must protect. Nothing will stand in my way.
And your king, he did this to you so that you could serve. Who?
Myself. He gave this as reward because I gave my life to protect one he had decided to protect. And in that instant, when I died and I fell, and I lost everything, he felt I should be risen to give me a second chance and let me to my own devices to find my way and find what I desire.
He gives you a long, hard stare before he stands back up, goes back over to his throne, and sits down on it, sort of thinking to himself.
When you live your life by combat, sometimes you cannot achieve what you wish. Should it be glorious enough, you
This
may
is true.
occasionally continue.
It is our way that death separates the strong from the weak, from the worthy from the unworthy, and from those who would seek their fate to those who would tumble from it. That being said, you are still of free will. I can see and sense that in you. That's a pretty good case. I will send with you 10 of my scouts. Talon's probably tied with Alloy at staring contests. Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, he takes another puff from his pipe. I will send 10 of my scouts with you.
Okay.
And if they return in a month's time, and we are able to tell that they have not been influenced by foul magic, that they have not been bent to someone's will, and that they still draw breath, then we will consider joining your kingdom. If it has this arena that we may challenge others of our kin.
Oh yeah, there's lots of orcs. But they're kind of bigger and greener than you.
Bigger than us. He leans forward, interested. There's bigger orcs in there.
Aye.
They're beefier. They're
surely-
they're green and beefier.
Surely you mean fatter.
Oh no, I mean muscly. And two of them, Tooth and Claw, they have a shop and they make weapons. There's a whole forge just run by orcs. And they're really good at it.
He, with a persuasion of 13, he mumbles under his breath, bullshit. But, he knows you're telling the truth. So, he's just...
No, they made Snack's scale mail. Show him.
I've seen his armor. He looks to the two guards that are at the door who are witnessing this conversation, and he goes, bigger orcs. He kind of throws his hands in the air a little bit, they have bigger orcs than us, apparently. And the two of them look between each other a bit sheepishly. They're not sure how to feel about that.
They could probably use some teaching in combat.
We did kind of trick them with a magic tree.
Then
At this point, Caleb's going to pipe in. These two do have a point.
could
They
you?
took- Go ahead.
No, sorry, continue.
They too participated in this trial in order to get to the surface.
We beat the orc.
Significantly, they have put their, or at least how I feel, they have put their bloodline to shame. They need correction. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh man, roll me a persuasion for that.
Uh-huh. Persuasion. Bum. Nope.
Oh no!
Oh.
He raises his eyebrows and thinks for a minute. He goes, well, I mean, if they've put their blood to shame, it's not my place to correct them only to watch them die. However, bigger orcs in a forge, free will, granola.
You want to try some? And I'll hold up the granola brick.
I'm not gonna take your food. I don't know if it's
good
poison.
for food. It's good as a weapon. I mean, you can throw it. It's pretty hard. It also makes a really good doorstop. You can do lots with granola. It's great.
Building supplies.
You can even use it as maize for bricks.
You can.
Siege equipment.
It's great, and I'm gonna crunch on some.
Torture device.
As you crunch into it and eat it, he watches you very closely.
There's gonna be like slug coming out of my mouth. I'm gonna like slurp it back in, just like crunch more on it.
Those are some pretty big grubs you got there.
You want to try some? It's really good. My friend Goober makes it.
I shouldn't. I am the chieftain after all, and who knows, it could be poisoned, and you could just be immune to it, you little green creature.
I'm a goblin.
Share some with your guards first. Or a guard, somebody.
Are you so afraid of one little goblin's food?
Perhaps the granola is not an important matter at the moment.
I am wise enough to know that even small creatures can poison the large, and that it is often their way to do so.
I just blow stuff up.
However,
The
bigger orcs, an arena,
Forge,
and granola. He drums his fingers on the side of his chair. I'll give you 10. 10 of my scouts, and they have 1 month to return alive. And if everything's fine, then the rest of us will come.
Okay.
I think this
That
deal
sounds
should
fair.
be satisfactory.
Well,
But we do have.
we are not immediately heading back.
Oh?
We sent to hunt for a white beast in the woods.
His eyes take a very serious look, and he sits up in his chair and looks over to you. The white beast. Some say it isn't real. What business do you have with such a legend?
We namely want to know what it is.
King is interested in this beast. He has heard that it has great power and wishes for us to investigate it.
Well, I mean, if you want to be dumb enough to go look for it, the Cursed Woods to the south is where they find it, or at least those who claim to have seen it say it is. They say it is some kind of great monster, somewhere between a man and a bear. But far too large and far too savage.
Is there someone within your camp who has or claims to have seen it? And may we talk to them?
There was one, but he's one of our scouts to the south. He said he saw it. But I don't know. Something that large. Some more people should have seen it. And it'd be an easy beast to track, goodness, as big as he said it was supposed to be. Claws as big as his arms. 20 or so feet high. I mean, it's ridiculous. A monster that size would be easy to find. But he says it would show and then vanish.
Sounds to me the work of magic.
Man, bear, pig.
You could call it that if you wanted to, and said that it was somehow a beast and also a pink skin.
Weird.
Now, the fact that any pink skin, piggish though they may be, could become of use of anything other than snacks for us, I wouldn't know. But it sounds like he ate too many mushrooms.
Those are fun.
And certainly a beast that size, how come it didn't catch him? How come it didn't kill him? How did he get a look at it and survive? How did it disappear? Too many holes.
Well, thank you for the information.
And he nods to you.
May I ask one more thing of you?
Yes.
Your scouts to the north have not seen any vampires, but have you heard any rumors of any to the south?
He strokes his beard a little bit as he thinks. I've heard tale of bloodsuckers, leeches, living in the woods on occasion. But only stories. Scouts really in this area haven't seen any of their kind. I mean, they usually look like pinkskins, except they're white and they wear black cloaks and have long teeth, right? And the spindly little fingers and the white skin, right? They talk funny.
This one would look different from that, perhaps. I again show the paper to him.
He looks at it. A child?
Yes.
A little girl?
I mentioned the king raising me for protecting one whom he had decided to protect.
He takes a long time considering the paper before he hands it back to you. My scouts haven't seen a little girl. However, we don't go out too far from where we are. Only hunting sometimes around the edges of these wastes for beasts that have wandered out of the trees and other things. We trade with some of the other tribes. I could put word out, asking if anyone has seen a small human girl.
I would be in your debt.
Whereabouts did you lose her?
Doc, where did I die?
In the woods. You died. Where you died, specifically you, would have been the town that was north of Egris. In fact, the town that the Banshee is from. Were all the ghosts that came into town. Though that may have been some time before what happened, you're not sure. I don't know if you've talked to them yet, but that is a ways, that's like a few days travel east from here. And through the trees, but you were still in the town when you were killed. And she fled north into the trees from there.
About 3 days to the east in the woods.
He kind of thinks over a little bit and goes, my scouts don't go that far. But I mean, I'm not willing to send any of my men over there. Those woods are haunted, you know.
Yes, I am aware.
But no, we haven't seen anything like that. We really only have 1 or 2 scouts that venture into the woods, and even then they come back with crazy stories of large beasts, which apparently have reached you. Who knows? Maybe I can give old Drek an ale when he comes back, because apparently some other people have heard his stories. One of the scouts actually pokes his head in through the door and whispers something to one of the guards and then exits. And one of the larger guards sort of like trudges slowly, cautiously over to where the chieftain is and whispers something to him and then retakes his post next to the door of the tent. The chieftain raises his eyebrows and goes, "Well, you guys are in luck. Turns out he's coming back." And he leads you guys out to the sort of large, it's not a town square, but it's like the clearing in the center of their village area. And you see approaching the village from the south, running across the wasteland towards you guys, is a gray orc who is haggard and sweating and heaving with breath. Terrified, he scrambles in and collapses to the ground as he gets inside the gate, scrambling on his hands and knees, looking backwards to the south, where he came from. Obviously in a tremendous amount of distress. And he's sort of, as he's scrambling, breathless, he calls out to members of the tribe, "Again! I've seen it again! The beast! The great beast!" And he scurries and scrambles along on his hands and knees. Most of the other orcs laugh. Some of them shake their heads and look sad for him. And they go, "Oh yeah, you saw it again? It disappears into a puff of smoke with the thumb of its nose. Is that it, Drek? Sure thing. Okay." And everybody like, And one of the other orcs leans over to the chieftain and goes, "You really should probably take him off of scouting duty if his eyes can't be trusted." And the chieftain kind of nods a little bit to the comment, and looking down at Drek as he sort of scrambles on his belly, breathless and sweating and just completely out of energy, up to the chieftain, he goes, "So you're back. And you saw the beast." And
We're looking for him.
He nods very quickly. "Yes, I saw it. I saw it again. Nearly got me." And he leans down and he goes, "Well, Drek, you're in luck, 'cause it just so happens that these idiots are looking for it." he thumbs over to your group, and Drek looks over to you guys and goes, Why would you search for such a thing?"
Because our king would like to know more about it.
What? And the chieftain kind of motions for one of the guards to pick Drek up onto his feet, and he gestures for you guys to come into the tent again. And the chieftain takes his seat again in his throne, and some water is brought to Drek as he's sat down on one of the stumps, and the chieftain gestures for you to sit around the fire again. And Drek tells you of this monster, this great hulking beast that stands easily taller than the chieftain's tent, which is 20 plus feet high. That this beast has claws on its huge mitts, its massive paws, claws bigger than its own arm, bigger than Drek's arm rather. Just huge, great thing, and its roar shook the trees, and it was so terrifying. But as soon as he saw it, it just would vanish, and was gone. And then he saw it again. The next day, it just came out of fucking nowhere as he was trying to track around and see if he could find it, but its tracks just seemed to disappear. And as he was looking for it, just suddenly out of nowhere, it showed up again. He didn't hear it coming, he didn't see it coming, it was just suddenly upon him, and he bailed hard out of the woods and barely survived, by his account, escaping into the wastes, and just almost sprinting the entire way back here.
Oof.
Drakyar, do you feel any magics upon him?
Yeah, how long would it take him to explain this?
Maybe 5-10 minutes.
If he would allow me, I'd like to cast Detect Magic on him.
He doesn't object, and the chieftain nods. Though
Okay, and
he's watching you as you do this.
Since I have the time, I'm going to use this as a ritual to avoid using a spell slot. And yeah, I'm going to use Detect Magic.
You don't detect any spells on him.
Oh, he's not. There's no magical presence on him. So if there's any magic at work, it would be on the beast or the surrounding area, if it exists.
In the time that I hunted in the woods, what I did, had I ever encountered anything similar?
But by the wild and absolutely absurd accounts of this orc, you've never heard of anything like this.
Okay.
Like this sounds like nothing you've ever hunted or seen.
Does this seem like anything I may have found in my studies?
Give me a knowledge check.
What? Like Arcana, History, or just straight Intelligence?
I'm gonna say History.
Damn it.
I mean, huge monsters of this size just blinking in and out of existence like this, like, it sounds extra planar, maybe? Like, maybe this creature is sort of tumbling in from another dimension and then tumbling back out again. I mean, the woods to the south are known to be very magical. It's possible that it's coming in and out from, like, a wild realm, through, like, a weave or something like that. I mean, you're not really sure, but it does sound crazy.
How far away is this forest?
Drac tells you it's about a day to the south. Maybe more.
Would you show us where you entered the forest from?
He turns a shade paler than normal. Give me a persuasion.
To prove, because we seek to prove the existence of this beast.
Roll me.
Yeah, no, that's not
performance.
happening.
That's performance. Roll me persuasion.
Oh, that.
There you go. He kind of, as he's drinking his water and recounting this, he's trembling in terror. But he says that he could take you close. That he will not go back into the woods, but he will approach the forest and he will point it out to you.
That is all I asked of him.
But that he will not approach those trees again. Like, he's done.
Are you so afraid, Orc, that you won't show us more?
He looks over to you. Oh, wait, you're gonna do a persuasion? He like turns to you with just like a look of absolute terror. And he goes, "If any of you had any sense about you, you wouldn't go. You wouldn't look for this thing. I think maybe I should look into becoming a tanner. Maybe build something or work in the towers a bit. I don't know." And the chieftain nods and sort of pats him on the shoulder a little bit and goes, "It's okay. It's all right. We'll put you to work doing something like skinning. We'll, when you come back. I think maybe you've been out in the world a little too long." And the York's like, yeah, maybe that's it. As it's kind of approaching midday, the orc offers to take you on a trip in that direction, but he's not going to go far. Especially considering he's basically been running since last night. So he's very tired.
Perhaps we wait a new day so that our guide can sleep and we can begin afresh.
I'll offer him some granola.
And you know what?
Gives me a chance to calm down too.
I'm gonna let you ride with that 15 persuasion. The chieftain says that you guys can stay here, but that you can be put up in like a small sort of dugout that they have that's just outside their village's walls. That they wouldn't risk bringing any of your people into the village just yet, as they're still very unsure of your people.
That's fair. I just want to
Very
make sure
fair.
the guide actually gets a chance to like not collapse going back to where we're going.
Yeah, he very shakingly is taken to like their version of an infirmary, like a healer's tent, and some of the orcs that are there get to work on him, and sort of like just checking him over, making sure he's okay, looking over himself, and definitely just like you giving him food and water and whatnot, letting him rest there for the night. And the night passes relatively without incident if you guys don't have anything else that you'd like to try and do while you're here.
No, just sleep, get ready to go, I think.
Awesome. No
Yeah.
panty raids. All right, sweet.
I guess you'll miss the panty raid.
The panty raid. Yeah, so...
Could I scribe a scroll in the downtime we have?
Yeah, with the remainder of the day, you're basically allowed to, like, throughout the day itself, you're allowed in, like, the town square area, like the central clearing, but other than that, they don't really let you wander or look around at anything, and there's always, like, a contingent of scouts or guards, like, watching you from a distance, just keeping an eye on you, making sure that you're doing stuff. But yeah, if you want to, like, take out a quill and ink and write up some stuff, absolutely.
Well, I mean, trying to make a spell scroll.
How does that work in 5th edition?
I was looking at it. It's listed in under downtime in Xanathar's guide. Magic guide. No, I need specifically scribing a scroll.
Downtime activities, scribing a scroll. Yeah, so scribing a spell scroll takes an amount of time and money related to the level of the spell the character wants to scribe, as shown in the spell scroll costs table that they have attached there. In addition, the character must have proficiency in the Arcana skill and must provide any material components required for the casting of the spell. Moreover, the character must have the spell prepared, or it must be among the character's known spells in order to scribe a scroll of that spell. If the spell is a cantrip, the version of the scroll works as the caster of first level. So yeah.
With a day, I could make a level 1 scroll.
Yeah, if you want to spend the day, you could make a first spell level scroll, and it would spend 25 gold pieces worth of components. But yeah. What spell are you looking to scribe?
I'm going to scribe extra casting of magic missile.
Magic missile. Okay. Let's have a look here. Oh, and it was just like a day. Okay, so there's no complications really. Whereas like other ones, if you're doing like a work week or something like that to scribe a 3rd level scroll, then I would be rolling for complications and stuff. And yeah, so then okay. For now, I'm going to allow it. I'm just going to say sure. Yeah, you spend the day sort of like sitting on one of the stumps that they have for sitting on in the town center area, and you write along your thing. At only one point, one of the orcs is brave enough to come over and look over your shoulder and ask you what you're doing. Why you're drawing so funny, and what is it that you're drawing. But, yeah.
These orcs do use ranged weapons, right? They're not all berserkers.
No, yeah, there's the ones that are up in the sort of makeshift scout tower that's up there are definitely equipped with bows. They're very makeshift bows and arrows, definitely sort of cobbled together, mostly from bones and tusks of larger creatures.
And they also have magic. We saw their leader casting a spell.
The chieftain does cast magic, yes.
I ask if there is a range I may practice in, and also hunt for anyone injured and heal them.
Well, I mean, if you walk up to one of these orcs and you offer them a berry, they don't take it.
I mean, like actively cast Cure Wounds.
Um,
Ask
okay.
if they are injured.
I was gonna be like, what do I roll if you walk up and you just start casting magic at them? I was gonna be like, I'm gonna do a roll to see if they take offense to that. When you walk up to them and you ask if any of them are injured, like even at the infirmary tent that's off to the side, like approaching it, asking if they are injured that you could use magic to heal. They nod no, and they're like no thank you. Like they're polite about it, but they're obviously very still suspicious that a skeleton is offering to heal some of their people, and a lot of them obviously still very suspicious of you guys as you are here, but no hostility yet. So you guys did well getting past that.
The entire party is like 3 levels of questioning and concern, and I am like 7 levels.
Yeah, like they are very like they are cautious of your party. They're exceptionally cautious of you because you are a Walking Dead person, and that makes them deeply, deeply, deeply uncomfortable.
Understandably so.
Yeah, it is so bad for them. So they're not being hostile towards you, but they are like keeping their distance for sure.
Quick question, Doc.
Mm-hmm.
When we got here basically in the morning, right?
Yeah, like the earlier half of the day.
Okay, so I'm only asking because it means I wouldn't have cast my second cast of aid yet because we wouldn't have been here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to kind of go up and make a similar offer separately from, Talrand, because skeleton is creepy for them, and just point out that like I am a healer, and if they have anyone who's injured, because they had made mention of having like a healing tent.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond simple injury, if they happen to have anyone, especially perhaps like an elder or like that, if anyone has a disease or they're blinded, deafened, paralyzed, poisoned, I can render aid and would be more than willing to do so for no repercussion of any kind.
Yeah. So as you sort of approach the healing tent like later on in the day, one of the healers comes out and he speaks to you, and you tell him this, like that you're a healer, that you have the ability to aid people in times of need. He tells you that like the sick and the injured usually don't last long in their village, so they don't have anyone like that. The only person that they've got right now is Drac, and he's just in a state in the tent there. But yeah, like other than that, there really isn't anybody that needs care. If you wanted to try and help Drac, you could attempt a persuasion to get in, but that's your call.
I don't have any way of really helping him.
Yeah.
I can make the side check of basically asking, given the world, like given again how hostile everything is and things like that, if they have any food or drink that isn't quite clean, I can purify that of any malignant poisons or disease. So if they had to kill scorpions for food or something, I can actually purify the poison out of the meat.
I mean, you offer that, and the healer orc that you're speaking to mentions that it is their way to just eat what they can from the earth, and if it kills them, then it was their time to die. That they weren't strong enough. That eating their way through dirt and mud and poison and like just filthy things and whatnot has made them as tough as they are. And they take a great pride in that.
Okay. Basically, just going to leave with the healer orc with the like, if somebody does show up and they're injured or whatever, I'm more than willing to help so long as I'm here. It's my lot in life to do so.
I'm gonna ask some of the orcs if they have any music. Do they know what music is? Do they do music?
They confuse music for war drums. They have war drums.
No, I mean
that
like
they bang on when they're killing stuff, but that's
I'm
it.
gonna be like, but I mean like music, and I'll take out my little like hand a little thumb piano thing, and I'll like start playing a little bit of music, and I'll be like music.
Some of the, like, as you're playing music and whatnot, at first, give me a perform check. Do me performance.
God, I hope I don't bork this.
Don't boof it. Oh, 10. So
damn it.
You're plinking away on the thumb piano, and at first the orcs. I'm just gonna turn that back on. At first, the orcs that are in the immediate area, aren't like they're suspicious, obviously, as you're playing this music and stuff like that. Like, some of them immediately give you like a bit more of a berth. Like, they distance themselves from you for a bit. As you continue to play, one of the guards walks up to you and then just sits in front of you and listens. And just like stares at you the whole time while you're doing it. I'll
be like, do you want to try? And I'll hand it to him. You just gotta poke it with your fingers like this, and I'll show him how to do it.
Okay. He doesn't crush it. So you put your thumb piano, like the little like plinkety planks, in his like just mitts compared to you, and he's holding this tiny object, and he like plink 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 plink, like kind of just plays one tune over and over again, just like ding 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 ding, and he's just like funny. Like, hands it back to you after.
I'll take it back from him, and I'll be like, this one's fun, and then they also have this, and I'll show him the kazoo, and I'll like blow into the kazoo, and I'll be like, this is even more fun.
Wait, which one?
The kazoo.
You blow into the kazoo, and it makes like a silly noise, and he's just like, oh, and like one of the other orcs who's keeping his distance from you as you're playing music, like, kind of takes half a step closer.
Okay, and I'll hand the kazoo to him and be like, do you want to try this one? You just have to blow into it. You literally don't have to do anything else. Just blow into it.
Oh, he eats it.
Good thing I have spare.
So yeah.
Good thing that wasn't my favorite kazoo. I did not hand him my yellow kazoo.
So
I have like 10 of these because of Fibsh. So
he like, because I'm like, depending on what the roll is, he's either gonna like blow on it and no noise is gonna come out, or he's gonna make a tune, or he's gonna blow on it and it's gonna like shoot out of his mouth and like fly somewhere. But on a 1, he goes and sticks it in his mouth and just bites, and it like crimps the back of it off and goes and like bits of broken shit come like tumbling out of his mouth onto the dirt, and he's just like, and he like scoops up the little pieces into his hands and like holds it back to you.
It's okay. I have lots, but you don't use your teeth. It's a beginner mistake. It happens.
He looks really confused that you're asking him to put something in his mouth without using his teeth.
Orcs' mouths are like, even by that picture, like 85% teeth.
A lot,
not so
a
much
lot
lip.
tuskier than the picture I've got usually. So yeah, he kind of like digs a little hole in the ground, like with his hand, just like, and then puts the bits of kazoo and just buries it really quickly. It's just, buries his shame in the middle of town center there.
I'll just go back to playing my. Actually, I might try the bagpipes, but that might scare them.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm not gonna play the fire part, just the music part.
Uh-huh.
But that might freak him out because it sounds like something dying sometimes. If you're not.
If Toleran's anywhere nearby, he might wander by and try with his lyre.
I'll just go back to playing my hand piano.
Yeah.
Playing my hand.
He's
my
even
piano,
proficient in it.
Like little. What's a? I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of a fucking like.
A lyre is like a guitar kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like a knot harp.
Oh, it's one of those. Yeah, it's like the tiny harp instruments. Yeah, Lyre. Okay. If you have one on you, yeah. If you want to like come over and plink a few tunes off of it.
And I'll play my hand piano.
Yeah. Give me a performance on that one, Esteban.
Okay, so I am proficient with the lyre.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean I get a +2 to this?
Yes. If you have proficiency with it, then you can roll your performance +2.
Wait, I didn't get to do that with mine, did I?
It depends.
Are you proficient with those specific instruments?
I am. I'm proficient in 3 instruments, and I have all 3 of
You
them.
only add your proficiency bonus once for any skill check.
Unless you got an ability that says otherwise.
No, I should have added it to the 10. I didn't realize.
That's okay.
Oh, well, next time.
I get a 5. That's,
Woof.
that's without the proficiency bonus. I'm not great at the lyre.
That's okay. You plink off a few tunes, that just kind of clinkety clank off of it. The air's really dry out here. You haven't tuned this thing in a bit. So it's it's one of those.
Since I was still alive.
It's like one of those guys that sits down with an acoustic guitar, and instead of like every time he tries to start a song, he's like, "Hey, wait, hang on," and then like tunes one of the strings, and then like ding ding. Oh no, hold on, and then like tunes another one up and down, and it just turns into sort of him endlessly trying to start a song. It ends up being kind of like that. So you kind of like, you don't play bad music, but you kind of don't start as you continuously try to tune your lyre. But yeah, you have made a friend out of one of the guards.
I'm gonna keep playing my kalimba and like sing a little song. Do like a song of rest kind of thing.
Sure. If you guys want to do a song of rest, they definitely appreciate it. Like they're still very cautious of you, and they still take like a great distance from you, but they do, listen and enjoy it.
I just all of a sudden pictured that since the only instrument these guys have is their war drums, their bards must be hilarious.
Oh yeah. You can definitely hazard a guess that their bards are quite wild. But yeah, so the rest of the day, if you guys don't get up to anything else, passes relatively without incident. And did you want to do something?
I was just saying that I just imagine like 3 orcs kind of like doing a 3 Stooges routine.
Start singing bawdy campfire songs. Well, I say it's Calandro says, as you might mention, at the end of the day, there's like a large fire pit sort of in the center of the town center area, and some of the orcs kind of gather around and exchange stories and talk about the things that were happening today. They definitely eye you guys from a distance. If you approach the fire, they give you guys a wide berth and speak in hushed tones amongst each other while gazing at you guys. And then you are shown to your bed, which is a dugout that is just outside their walls.
Yep.
That is
The pit.
The pit. Yeah, it's kind of just like a hole that they've dug that has like a sloped entrance to it, so you guys can get in there and be safe for the night. And there are some scouts that are posted as guards outside so that you guys can rest. And that brings the end of that day. As the sun rises, the beginning of the next day, Drac, having rested, comes forward, carrying sort of his like, torches and other things that he needs for his travel, and gives you guys a stern nod as he gets ready to lead you guys out into the wastes. And that is where we will end our episode today.
Ooh.
There we are, ladies and gentlemen. It's our 4th game.
Yeah.
Woot woot.
So
We finally made it to Ogrimmar.
that's right. This isn't just Orgrimmar. This is pre-Cataclysm Orgrimmar.
That's not ogre, Mark.
The music that's currently playing.
Yeah.
Oh, the music is.
The music,
The town's
yeah.
not. The
No, the
town's from
town-
Hellfire.
Yeah, the town's from the place outside the Black Temple in that one. Yeah, that's not Hellfire Citadel. That's not the.
Oh, that's out in the Swamp of Suros?
No, I'm trying to think of.
Where the frick is this?
I can't remember the name of the place. Shadow Moon Valley. Before it became.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So the orcish place in Shadow Moon Valley. Can't terribly remember.
I didn't really go out to Shadow Moon very often.
Yeah. But I just grabbed a picture from that and then threw a grayscale on it and was like,
Yeah.
that's what this place looks like, because it's
Yup.
just awful all the time, and that's orcs. But yeah, they have like a small
This
village
land
there.
is dead.
Soup's dead. But yeah, so I'm sorry, cutie. I know you're dying for it, but we'll see it on our next game, our 5th and possibly final installment of this particular story. We will see what happens after this. If you guys are interested in continuing this, then we can turn this into an alternating thing.
Yes.
Doing your guys' story one week and doing the A-Team story the other week, because they have been very excited about getting back on.
Oh, they're back. That's good.
Yeah, I've been in communique with that team, and we're talking about getting everybody sort of back in and moving forward. So yes,
I mean, I'm definitely open to keep going.
Yeah,
every other
me
week.
Yeah,
too.
totally. Are you kidding? I've been looking forward to this since I
This
found
is
out you were doing
great.
D&D.
This is
I am loving this.
fantastic. The
Good.
world needs more Sith.
the world definitely does need more piff, and the rest of you. But until then, though, my bravest of citizens, it is I, Toronto's greatest supervillain and evil genius, Dr. Terrawat. I've been your game master for this evening. We are joined by our intrepid crew. Going from the top down, we've got Esteban as our skeleton Telrand.
Good evening.
We've got Raynor as our draconian sorcerer.
It has been a pleasure to work with you all tonight.
We got Kaldaka Gray as our, as Sneck. He's a kobold. That's the word I'm looking for.
There are no monsters in the king's realm.
We got Quad as our Warforged warrior Alloy.
When do I get to fight things?
Oh, soon.
I want to murder hobo.
I wasn't sure how fast along you guys would get this, but you guys have definitely... I had a whole bunch more content planned for this evening if you guys just blew through a lot of the stuff. But thankfully, here we are. And we've got Palanthier playing Caleb, our Genasi rogue.
I get to steal shit when?
And Besaurus as our Goblin Bard Piffles.
I'm just gonna keep giving granola to everyone.
And we'll see you all next Thursday on our next D&D session of our B-Team community game, End of Line.
Bye.
Bye.